But yeah, I mean, some of Fluke's feelings will come out in roleplay, but I don't think it'd be a stretch that people might notice he's feeling a little bit like Cassandra. just like, this shark thing might be a bad idea. Do it anyway. Hephe dies. This trusting this, going through with this, even if it frees Hephe, might be a bad idea. Dwarf guy dies. Why is everyone dying?
Because adventuring is scary, and if they had stable lives, it'd be a farmer and married to Sarah, having a nice life with a couple of kids and a white picket fence.
That, and I'll throw out there, like, no one exactly took hard stances against anything. Everyone was just kind of on the fence. So it's one of those, like, unless you took a hard stance on something, it's hard to be like, yeah, I was right, or yeah, I was wrong. It's one of those, man, I wish I'd made a decision.
I took a hard stance.
I took a hard stance too, my character did, but that's because of selfishness. I just wanted Chody to lie in the grave he dug himself.
True.
Well, I mean, Fluke very, very visibly said, yeah, I vote against this, but I mean, just about everyone else voted against him, so he's like, well, you go with the group, that's what you do. You're
in the vote for
outvoted,
Chody? Or in the vote for the Sharks?
In the Sharks, he was more on the fence. On the vote for Chody, he was hard stance. I don't think we should do this. But he was like the only one. Everyone else was for going through with it.
Because I could have sworn when I watched it last, like, I thought Galrok was the only one hard stance against Chody. Pretty sure everyone else was flip-floppy. But...
Yeah, Galrok was definitely, hey, let's not unleash great magic evils. Like, that sounds like a bad time. But I also got to see it happen, so it was cool.
That's true.
And you take it to your grave.
I did. As is the dwarf way. I should have jumped down the hole. That would have been way more cool.
At least
Into
then,
oblivion.
like, you could have told your ancestors, like, hey, this Rakshasa forced me, so technically I died in combat, but now you just, like, died reading.
That's combat for a wizard, thank you.
That's,
I'm not sure if that's true.
You can make your argument at the gates.
Okay, so I cast Dispel Magic a couple times.
Yeah.
I was but by me not running away when other people ran, it caused me to die. Yes or no? It sounds like combat to me.
That's fair.
This does seem like the kind of debate a dwarf would have with other dwarves at the gate to his afterlife.
Listen, fuck my ancestral hall anyway. My family doesn't care.
Ouch. You want to talk about it?
That's a very big statement for a dwarf in my campaign.
I mean,
well,
you know how my family
so
felt about me.
Are solved.
But do your ancestors feel the same as, like, your direct family?
Yeah, your direct family could be a bunch of bitches, but, ancestors may have you back.
I guess I can have a scene where I ask my ancestors how they feel about me trying to elevate their class. And succeeding.
That is... Oh, shit, what's gonna happen to the rest of your family now? Questions for later.
I'll be dead.
Well, they'll get what they wanted all along, to not be risen.
We can finally go back to being miners.
Yay, stonemasons.
Oh, that's true. Same thing.
I want to build things, not approve things with paperwork. Ugh.
I'm ready.
Alrighty.
Who wants to do the recap?
Fluke.
Why Fluke?
Because you seem to remember more than we do, apparently. That's what I'm like, well, hold on.
Look, all I'm saying is every time I recall the argument going on, Fluke's like, I still want to go to the Feywild, but I mean, if no one else does.
I thought we were doing that discussion literally today after we returned Kozum to the village.
I mean, yeah, but he also wanted to do it, to get one over on the demons. I mean, not to say he still doesn't want to go, but now it just feels like let's go to this place to learn to deactivate the bomb. Bomb goes off. Well, I still wanted to go anyway, so...
Well, we could wish that it never went off in the first place.
I mean, there's all... Then you might want to think about how to word that one.
Or you could wish that the blast radius was contained to a smaller, destructive cage.
You know, people we still lost somebody, but you know, seal up that evil hole. Sew up that hellmouth for us if you
Yeah,
could.
yeah. Could you
All right, well,
Could you stitch up the gaping portal to hell?
Please.
oh, with the anti-magic field. Oh god, we're gonna release it to Ras too. It's just
Oh, I am so ready to go have this conversation with Hefe's fucking people. This is gonna be so
right.
great.
I'm gonna ask Ralgo, since you brought it up earlier, what is our sorcerer's fucking HP in our our Saturday campaign? Ralgo?
What? Where's Ralgo?
What?
He went to answer the door for a second. He's in his room, but I don't think he's got his headset back
he
on
doesn't have
yet.
his headset back on yet. That makes sense. I'm just trying to think.
out
I'm the
doing
wizard, and I have
this.
31 at level 3, and I'm like, come on now, what's going on here?
This doesn't sound like session recap.
No.
You're right.
We've talked about a lot of things, but not about the recap.
Yep. Alrighty, my apologies. Please go, someone, that whole their recap.
Okay, so we got our magnificent mansion set up. We interrogated Chody. Pretty much figured out about what we were imagining. Just like, you know, Chody's not a good guy, but he was highly, highly manipulated. Just like both of these clans, as far as we can tell. We did a lot of research. We learned some good stuff about how we were summoning something up with hell magic. The Rashaka kind of played that off as just being the Guardian. We kind of knew that was bullshit. Fluke wanted to say something, but he wasn't going to say it right in front of the Rashaka. So that, yeah, that was a tense situation. We kind of decided that some of us would hang back, which also might have been a mistake. And Galrok and Teak went down and watched, and then things got fucky. The Guardian came out. It was a big, spooky, scary head boy. And Galrok's like, you know, I'm really not liking how this thing is going. I'm going to try and give a middle finger to this Rashaka, which he almost succeeded in and almost became play of the game. But everyone knows Torborn's corpse is play of the game, not Torborn, so that's how it goes.
I
F
swear.
in chat.
I don't know much about Overwatch, but I know that truth. So, yeah, Teak decided to book it, which we did care a lot about Teak, so that would have been very traumatic for many of our party if Teak died. Galrok, figuring he was screwed anyway, tried to kind of delve into his books for some last bit of hidden knowledge, and then died in a very cool pose, which, I mean, that's a good end for just about any D&D character. You know, dying in a cool pose is just about, it's important. Then, as we started running, we noticed the sharks were indeed dead, so hurrah. We did a skill challenge, which I think we started off a little rough, but then aced it all the way through after that. And then we got outside and started kissing the ground and, you know, being like, let's not go in caves for a couple of years after this if we get the chance.
Basking in the sunlight.
Really weird to hear that from a kobold say, let's not go in caves.
Yeah. Clue very much had the reaction of going outside, sunlight. Ah, my eyes, but it burned so good. Because that cave sucked, in Fluke's opinion. Things were going pretty good for him. You know, the thing with the vice count was a little fucky, but, you know, it worked out in the end. And then we went in that cave, and just, like, reality slapped him in the face like a cod. Just wet fish slap in the face. And now we were discussing how we were going to break it to the clan and possibly still go into the Feywild Olympics, because that's something we still wanted to do. And we kind of either wanted a mini vacation that will give us prizes to help deal with the Civil War, or worst case scenario, get shot and forth in so much time where it's not our problem.
And then we have a whole bunch of other problems.
But not that one.
You know, whenever I had a problem, I just threw a Molotov cocktail at it, and boom, I had another problem.
Oh, that problem
I had a
solved.
different problem. A
But
shot.
I know
and
where a
missed.
fire extinguisher is, so that's a different kind of problem.
Did I miss anything?
No.
Not that your character would have known.
Yeah, that's fair. That is really fair.
I can't think
Oh,
of
that's
anything
gonna
else
be-
to add.
That's gonna be interesting to look into later. As that
Not
develops.
much later. Not much later. I gotta give it about 20 minutes, friend.
Oh God, this is gonna be interesting.
Since there are some beans involved.
Like I said, I'm prepared not to play today's session.
Well, I have to see how flexible we're gonna need to be with your character's introduction. So,
PvP.
you've all gotten outside. The sun is shining. It is relatively early in the morning still. Decorum is hugging the ground, not getting up for a moment. What do y'all do?
How's Cozen?
He is very tired, but it's difficult to tell at this point, like what his mental state's like. But
fair.
he's been able to just focus on running and keep up with all of you. He also seemed to be relatively unaffected by the whole magic thing. He just noticed that you were getting scared and got scared with you as well.
Does
In
anyone
his defense, that's a good thing.
does anyone need to rest? After that.
I am mentally exhausted, not physically exhausted.
I wouldn't mind a small rest, but I'm not physically hurt or anything, just mentally exhausted too.
All right, and I sit down on a rock. I was definitely pulling that whole, I'm really tired, please someone say that they need to sit down. But I'm not going to say it.
I assume then I'm gonna ask DM, is this okay if we take a small short rest here? Or a
Yep.
small short rest, actually? Okay. Teek's gonna roll a hit dice then.
We best decide what our story is going to be. Or rather, how we're going to tell it.
That's fair. We want a fire. I'll go get wood if we want a fire.
If you feel like burning something, Fluke, be my guest.
Yeah.
Because it's daytime, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
thought
Sun's still rising, or it's not
Oh,
still rising,
okay.
but it's. I'd say it's 9ish in the morning.
Okay, so early morning chill, but it should hopefully warm up soonish.
Yeah.
But we are in a swamp, so there's that.
It's
There's
damp.
a swampy area.
Good luck finding dry
Yeah.
wood.
Firewood's gonna be difficult, but
That's why you climb up to the trees and then you lop the branches off.
Does anyone have prestidigitation? Oh wait.
Yes, actually, I do.
Can you
I
do
I
it?
can- Yeah, that's true. Do we have a cantrip that could help us out? Stab his booming blade into a tree to try to shake branches are loose.
You might light the tree on fire with lightning damage, right?
It's thunder. It's sonic, so it's verbal
You're right.
and shakiness. Yeah, it really should have been called sonic damage. I mean, you could still call it thunderstep and have it do sonic damage. That makes sense. Thunder damage is just confusing to people.
My brain
It
is
is.
just often set up, and I have to remember the Teen Titans episode.
Thunder and lightning.
Very, very frightening.
Me, Galileo.
But
Alright, we're
Porcelain
done.
will also say, we should also figure out who's going to do the most of the talking. I will tell you now, it should not be me.
Well, I think. Hold on, let me do this in character. I'm not sure if Decorum feels like speaking to them, or if Luke does, but if not, I'm sure I can try to explain, but I'm not sure if I'm the one to do it. Because OOC, not high on charisma.
Also,
I have a
believe you
negative
two-
in charisma.
I believe
so-
you two are charisma boys.
as you
I
said it,
literally, Fluke. Oh, you go.
as you said it, Ezra, you notice that Decorum is still like laying on the floor, hasn't moved since laying there.
Azri's gonna go shake him to make, like check his pulse. Like, hey, you okay, buddy?
Make a medicine check.
Oh boy.
Can Teak
No,
come over and help?
Decorum's dead.
I swear to God.
Yeah, T can come help.
Okay, thank God, because. Woo!
He's definitely still alive. But you notice the vein that he had shown you before is almost like pulsing and has spread more. And he's alive but unconscious. He's sweating like a motherfucker. Which is weird because he's a lizard.
Which is weird. What? I'm sorry. Oops. You just found that funny. Asri, shit.
Do you say that?
No, that's me. Sorry. Asri's just like, guys, Decorum's not doing so well. I think that vein's spreading.
I pop up.
We need a healer. Oh wait.
I can try cure wounds, but I don't know if that will actually work.
Do you have any spell slots left?
I can cast it at the 2nd level.
Go on, try.
All right, yeah, she will cast Cure Wounds at the 2nd level on Decorum to see what that does for him. Because that's... wow. I thought it was just the 6 for a second. I didn't see the 5. I was going to be
Yeah.
like, holy crap.
Took a bit for the 5 to load in. Both Teak and Ezra make a perception check. Or medicine, one of the two. But it's probably going to be perception.
Yeah, Asriel will go.
Probably.
And I will go with Teak now. Core. Perception. Exact opposite numberage.
Ezra, you notice that it seems like the pulsing of the disease itself, as it were, kind of slows down. And his breath is like slightly steadier. But he doesn't wake up, or he still is in a very bad state.
I think this short rest may become a long rest unless we want to try hoisting Decorum up on my disc and carrying him that way.
I pick him up and, like, throw him on my back, and I said, I'm not sure that we should be waiting around the wilderness if he's like this.
Well, all right then. And Asri will sit down to cast the disc so you don't have to carry him.
That's good.
But she's good to know that that you can just straight pick him up because he's heavy boy too.
I'm strong.
I don't know what your strong is.
I'm not very strong, but I'm above average.
I just know Decorum have a lot of equip.
This is true.
Which we could easily take
before
off of him, I
Before
suppose.
we start heading out, just because Fluke's curious, he's going to dig into his backpack and see if that large blood crystal he wrapped in, like, a towel or something had shattered to hell, because he's assuming it did.
Didn't you
Or
give that to
evaporated
Yvonne?
or something.
I could have
I
sworn
don't
Decorum
think
gave that
we
to
did.
Yvonne.
The big
I'm fairly
sphere?
sure he did, yeah.
Yeah, he gave the
I
big
thought-
sphere thing to Yvonne.
Yeah, it's why
I don't know if it was a
Galrok
spear,
called
I-
him a numbskull.
I just remember we got a large blood crystal at one point. I didn't know if that was the spear or not. I had it in my inventory.
Then I'll have to check if there was something else, but I think that's the same thing as because if
It's
you
a
found
big-
it,
Yes.
if
It's
you
a
found it in the
necromantic
cave,
orb,
It
right?
It may have been. It may have been just a exchange of inventory that never got properly documented. It's hard to say.
yeah.
I think that's the only thing we got down there.
I know there was a lot of blood crystals down there, so I wasn't sure if that was the same thing as the spear.
Maybe. It could.
That's something we can.
Yeah,
Something we
I'll
can
have
look
to
into later.
check at some point. But either way, it would have been. If you still have it, it would now at this point kind of slowly be like coming back up from a dormant state, as it were.
Hmm.
Anything more you wanted to talk about or do during the short rest?
What?
Good.
I don't know.
I know that Asri would give Teak the spellbook that she's had, the Arendan spellbook. Because if I recall correctly, there was a spell in there that she still wanted to try and learning late at some point. So I don't know if the DM actually wants to roll for that, but I figured that can be doing Teak's thing in the background. Because Asri wants to have a quick word with Porcelain and Fluke.
Okay. That's fine. Make a arcane check for Teak.
Boop.
Ooh, that is.
The exact.
That's exactly what you needed, yeah. Teak is gonna spend some time on that, and I'll have to quickly look exactly what the ritual said again. But then, in the meantime, you can have your conversation that you want to have.
Kind of pulling you guys like out of earshot and stuff of Teak, and she's assuming Decorum is just not going to be, waking up anytime soon. She kind of like looks around and kind of breathes in, breathes out, and pulls out the map that she has of the current state of Lavasti.
Okay.
I'm looking for that because you sent it to me. Go to Slumperd. Right click. Save image. Oh no, wait. I want to open it the big size first. Open original. Hey!
I'll also send it actually in the chat of the thing. Unless you want to do that, Flap.
You can go ahead. I'm still in the process of saving because I wanted to see if I can get it on the screen for
Oh yeah, I
the
should actually do
chat.
that too, probably. Just because I know I'm not going to do it while editing.
Alright, so this is what my commanding officer sent me, and I'm showing this to you even though I'm supposed to burn it upon retrieval because, well, I figured you'd like to know about your home, Fluke. And she kind of shows you the purple area. This is where the Bastion has overtaken. I don't know if it's been sent in the actual...
No, I've sent it in Discord.
Yeah. I realized I need to actually check that before I start talking about it.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
You just zoom the fuck out. Hold on.
Okay, so we got the purple area. Let me see. The Bastion. Oh, goodness.
What's going on there with Star?
Would seem that they are a city-state now. They're not part of Lavasti or anyone else, it seems, at the moment.
Of course they would. Sorry, continue.
So you know where Galrok and Teak teleported it from? And she points to this little spot where you see a red line drawing from the northern purple into the mountain range.
I bloody knew it.
Yeah, you were right. That's their escape plan should things go south. This is Creope's escape plan, and we just made it a tomb for him. And Asri smiles at Porcelain as she says that bit.
They're gonna be escaping down there.
Yes.
Have you told them?
Of course not! The entire reason I exist is to screw Creope over. Which, by the way, Fluke, hi. There's some explanation of a few things that you might want to know about. And in Fluke's head, he's going to hear, for instance, my real name is Hilzara Belladonna. My whole reason I exist as Asri is to infiltrate what is now the Rebellion, the Bastion, and to kill Creope. That's the whole reason I designed this persona. Or I guess to usurp him, take his power, and just start making a better place. But considering the current state of things, I'm not sure that that's going to work out. Yeah. So when I told you I named myself Telrax, I did mean that. That was serious. That wasn't meant to be a lie. And the whole bit about being an orphan, that's also true. I just didn't tell you about the name bit.
She's going to ponder and has just like, so you're basically a spy.
You know, I actually had that realization while we were down in that cave system, thanks to Porcelain. I didn't think about it like that, because I was just trying to find a way to kill Creope for pinning me to the ground and slaughtering everybody I ever cared for. Except for Porcelain, she was alive, can you believe that?
I mean, I did sort of see that. Man, no wonder I thought you'd fit in with my group. Goodness. They don't do a lot of spy work, but it happens on occasion. Rarely.
Yeah.
I haven't really been trained for that, though. I'm really glad I get the disguise kit.
Let me know if you have any to spare.
We can buy another disguise kit, I suppose. I mean, Porcelain said she'd help me out with mine. But, I mean, I'm a little concerned what's going on in Rubel, but considering my group is who they are, they're at least pretty decent about staying out of the line of fire.
That's good.
They're professionals, after all. Goodness. Things were a lot less complicated before we went down in that cave.
I think we just didn't know about them. I think they were...
That's true.
And this is still in his head, and, she's saying, now here's the bit where you might be a smidge upset with me, but hear me out. And she is going to take her satchel thing and, like, kind of pop it open to present a necklace with a red gem. And I don't know if it's a glowing red gem or if it has any, like, special properties when you look at it.
It's the one from...
yeah. Yeah.
It's a blue shaped like a lightning bolt.
Oh, blue. I thought it was red for some reason. My bad.
Gem.
Okay, yeah. So he'll show you the blue gem and be like, so this is the thingy that will turn immunities into weaknesses, and I got it from the speaker because I think I'm going to either use it to kill Creope or frame Creope for killing the prince or the higher ups within the Bastion. Not sure which I'm going to do.
Where exactly?
This is in Flick's head.
Oh.
Yeah, you see her pull out a lightning stone. And
Well, I can see it, yeah.
I pulled the satchel open. I didn't actually touch it because she doesn't want to touch it because touching it is bad in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fair.
Oh, do I see it?
I imagined you at my side, but so I guess if you leaned over, because I imagined Porcelain standing next to Asri, and they were facing Fluke.
Well, I'm 6 feet tall, and you're all quite small, so all I have to do is just look
lean
down.
Over. Yeah, you just have to lean over. That's what I guess. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm just explaining the scene of where we were standing. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to say, now, where did you find a fancy item like that?
She puts up one finger to Fluke, and in your head you say, the speaker of Tiamat.
You fucking what?
I feel like you said that out loud for some reason.
Me too, actually.
She's also saying it with her eyes, I assume.
Just the look on her face says, "You fucking what, mate?" I'm going to use it to kill Creope. And possibly other higher-ups within the Bastion and frame Creope.
And what did you promise for it?
To also kill the second prince, because he's the crown prince.
Oh, well, if that's all. Are you mad?
Not anymore, actually. I feel like I'm rather happy with to have this capability. I'm a little sad still that, you know, Decorum died. A little worried that Galrok hasn't come up yet.
I've
Kind
got
of worried that Galrok's
the
gone
bridge
now.
of my nose pinched.
I think you meant Hephe, because Decorum's not dead yet. I'm not dead yet!
Oh, did I say Decorum? My bad. I meant to say Hephe.
You did.
I did. I'm like, sorry, I'm also worried about Decorum too, because he's possibly dying. So like, yeah, I think I'm less mad, more sad. But maybe with this we can get glad?
I imagine you're still thinking in her head, but you're doing like little jazz hands.
Not jazz hands, it's finger crossbows. Close.
I swear, it's so weird when you do this between you're connecting to two different people and you're just on mute for the other, so while we just watch.
It's like being in Discord.
Yeah.
But everybody's on video.
Um,
But I will say out loud, you know what? Fine. All right. Might as well. The world's gone to shit. Might as well. Why not?
Okay. She's gonna reconnect to Fluke and say, I think I've upset Porcelain. Fair. She doesn't seem to like the idea that in return for this, all I have to go do is kill Cephalus. I believe that was the correct name.
It's
Similar enough.
It's a bit much to be gunning for nobility. Not to mention, I mean, I'm wondering what my moral obligation in this is now. I mean, not to say I'm a patriot. No. But, I mean, I like you. You're my friend. I feel like I should warn my guild, and I don't know if you're okay with that. I just want them to know if things are going to get a little destabilized. They should be prepared for that. He's just giving, like, the slowest shrug while he thinks this in your head.
I'll be honest with you. Let me start that over. My bad. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what all you can actually warn them about. All the information I have has kind of already come to pass, save the I'm trying to kill somebody who's leading the rebellion, and then later down the day, way back sometime, I have to go kill a prince. But like, let's be real. I'll probably be charbroiled before that happens.
You just kind of like raise an eyebrow. You're expecting to get out of a demon's deal by dying first.
Get out of? No. Fail? Maybe. Punished afterwards? Probably.
Fluke's also just going to look at the sky and just be like, why the demons? Why so many
Technically they're
demons?
devils.
You're dealing with devils.
Yes.
Have you forgotten?
I have not forgotten anything, I think. What have I forgotten, Fluke? That I'm
The
dealing
shit
with devils?
I'm also dealing with.
Oh. Are you still... Wait, no, my brain is... Perhaps that's me as a player forgetting. I thought you got the curse.
Well, we know there's a weird purple demon lord we saw in my past, and there's a cult after me.
I forgot about the demon lord. Yeah, the purple demon lord. That's right. That was me as a player. My apologies, Fluke. Or Plow. Not necessarily. I am dealing with... She looks down at the gem that turns invulnerabilities into weaknesses. This could be the ultimate whammy.
He's just going to like rub his brow a little bit, just like, you know, I wonder if it would have been better if we just killed Chody. I mean, Hephe would have been trapped, but then we wouldn't have released this anti-magic whatever the hell.
Yeah. Across this rest, by the way, does that field feel like it's expanding still?
Yeah.
It does.
It is still expanding. It is expanding slower and slower.
Oh no.
So Asri's going to say, yeah, I won't lie to you. I don't necessarily feel we made the wrong decision in letting Chody do the ritual. Maybe the wrong decision in not going down there and helping Galrok, but I don't know what happened down there, because I don't.
Vivi saw some of it. We definitely should have been down there to stab Yvonne in the back.
I mean, I don't necessarily know about stabbing Yvonne in the back, just so much as I feel Galrok may be alive if we had done that.
Possibly, and we might not have the anti-magic who's it. I don't know. It was definitely something he was doing with the like Vivi kind of shared the mental image of the big scary head thing. I don't think that's what's going on now. I mean, she got out of there pretty quick, but we knew Yvonne was pulling something else out, and I have a feeling this is that.
Did Vivi stay for?
I mean, it
Scroll?
was never technically addressed. I assume her job was to watch Teak, so she mostly probably stayed with Teak through that, which Teak
Okay,
did see
so-
the big
Oh,
evil
Okay,
thing.
yeah. So in that
Yeah,
case,
that's
she
different.
hasn't also seen, not the scroll, but also not Galrok versus Avan, as it were.
I like it. Dead dwarves tell no tales. I appreciate it. And that's not true.
Point
against
is,
somebody who's-
we knew he was bringing something else in, and we still went along with it, which I thought might have been a bit of a bad move. But it was hard to really voice that when we couldn't go back to the safety of our sanctum when we started talking to him. It was a stressful situation. I was worried one wrong foot and then we'd be in a fight that not all of us wanted.
A fight that not all of us may survive. I still stand to reason that the Speaker of Tiamat was afraid of Yvonne for good reason.
Possibly.
That said, unless you have any questions about the tragic backstory, and she does the finger crossbows again, and she's like, I think this is really all I had that I wanted to speak at you, so to speak. I'm sure you have questions maybe about other information I might have at the moment, but, and she's going to say this out loud, I'm sure that part doesn't need to be hidden in the head.
Which part now?
The part, my apologies. The part about asking me if there's any other questions that I might I don't know, might.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yes.
Do you suppose that well, I'm not certain how this anti-magic field is going to work, but do you suppose they'll still be able to teleport to underneath the caves if it's anti-magic down there?
I can only hope.
Well, I mean, the question also becomes, if you can, are you going to die shortly after?
Probably.
See, that's the real hope.
If not, they're going
I
to
mean,
pissed.
it would be very convenient to lure to talk people into doing that, if we happen to hate them.
Perhaps.
Well, that settles, though, in my mind. Firstly, Sir Farouk, I am sorry for how things have turned out, and I know that much of it is because of selfish decision-making. I'll be the first to say I very selfishly voted for Chody to endure his fate. I know it's not right, but
I mean, it's not as much Chody's fate that concerns me. I just don't know if it was the... I don't know if Hephe would have preferred us to free him by the means we did. It might have been better just to execute him ourselves, and... either way, it's not pretty, but it would have taken away what they wanted, and what they wanted did not seem good.
That's certainly true, but I couldn't leave there knowing Hephe was stuck.
He'll actually, when he says taking away what they wanted, he'll be kind of playing with one of his daggers and just kind of staring at it a bunch.
Likely, it's not the best decision, but Hefe's free.
It is a silver lining, and admittedly, I think I would have preferred dying to challenging those devil fucks, personally, considering everything that's gone on, but at least we are still alive despite our additional casualty.
Yes, regarding that, how can we send word? I think Teak was the only one who really knew him, or at least knows who to contact.
I mean, they come from a research group of some kind. There must be some hierarchy that can be sent word and then pass it down the line. It might take some time. I have to imagine there's somebody.
We'll figure that out when we go to civilization, and we'll also need to see if we'll be able to get decorum back up again. That being said, given circumstances and that we require resources and have hardly any except for that thing, I say, pointing at her pouch, I am starting to honestly believe our best bet may be going to the Feywilds, if only to acquire more powerful items to assist.
I don't necessarily disagree.
It sounds good for getting heads on straight after all this, I suppose.
Plus, if we have enough wishes, I might just wish that the Speaker of Tiamat doesn't remember me. I don't think that would actually work, OOC, for the record. Because all I think that would do is rewind it to like Asri back like 1,000 years before she met the Speaker of Tiamat, but...
I wish the Speaker of Tiamat doesn't remember me. Tiamat, on the other hand, still remembers you. The listener of Tiamat, on the other hand, still remembers you.
You make a very valid point there, friend.
You
Glorious.
beat me to typing it in Twitch chat.
Yeah. Typing is slow.
True.
Definitely have more time to consider what we would like to use wishes for once we have a better idea that we're closer to achieving it.
Question for everybody. And this is feel free to answer honestly. Do we want, which side of the war are we wanting to be on this? Because I'm not sure I actually have much of a tether other than want Creope gone.
Oh, it's obvious a Fluke would be loyal to Rebel.
I mean,
wrong.
You're not necessarily wrong. I would really need to check with where the group's loyalty lies. They seem like that's the type that could deal with new management depending on how things went, but it's not really my place to say. I want them to be okay. That's really all I care about. I assume if we come in conflict, we won't instantly turn on each other. At least I certainly hope not.
If my plan was to turn on you, I wouldn't have told you as much as I just did.
I'd imagine not. And I certainly... You'll laugh a little nervously. I certainly wouldn't want to deal with both of you at the same time. One of you might be kind of fun.
Admit it, you just want to race without having to use haste.
He'll
She's
just,
trying to
have
make a
a
joke,
thought.
obviously.
He'll ponder a little bit. You know, it would be really easy to get away from you at least. So that's good to know. That's good to recall. You would not be able to catch me.
No, but I think I could. Listen. Here's the fact of the matter. We're allies, hopefully, and not going to be fighting each other unless one of us is being controlled by an enemy. And in which case, if that happens, then just don't break my face in.
That's what the blackjack is for.
Asri's going to pull out a piece of paper and write kind of like a pseudo report. It's just going to say escaped the caves, removed from caves, did not see anyone else, asking for update on Rubel and the Fates Fortune Company to see if they are potential allies.
Okay. Can you send me that in chat? It's gonna take like a couple of hours before they, in-game hours before they can respond.
Absolutely, I'll type it out right meow.
While that's going on, Porson will say, now, I will say, rather ironically, I am also not much of a patriot.
You've got... It's important to keep in mind, I can't speak for where my guild lies, but it's no secret that while Rubel's under the crown, it's not exactly the most loyal hamlet. I mean, is Fluke remembering that right? Because as far as I know, they're kind of on the cusp, and
it's kind of been a long thing in the area. Is the specifically Rubel, but most of the south is in much more contact with the rest of the world, where it isn't like assumed that dragons rule everyone, and so those ideas of hey, maybe people can rule themselves are floating in through various means.
The best thing I could think of is they're Hong Kong and China to a degree.
I swear.
What? Close enough.
That was a good reference, my man.
But Porson will say, noted. Well, what I'm also am certain of is I'd like to see Crayope in a box.
Multiple, possibly.
I mean, I don't know a lot about Crayope personally, but I did sort of get a front row seat to the tragedy you two shared. She's going to say, like, very awkwardly.
You know, Flubber just remembered he didn't put on his tabletop audio, so it's been a quiet ass stream.
Alright,
But yeah.
Oh, shit. And because it's been a while, remind me, what's your hometown called again?
The one I actually grew up in was Rowley, just outside of Subri.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So, Porson will say, you recall the ravaging of Rowley?
Fluke's gonna actually look at Ezra, just like, is that what I saw? I didn't really get names.
Yes, and she's a little surprised Fluke would remember that, considering the magic thing.
Which magic thing?
No, well, no, not that. It's not on you. That's just me on the asking the DM of something I wrote in the background if that affected only the people that lived there.
He's talking about when you saw memories
Demon Lord.
By the Demon Lord.
Yes,
that's what he
referring
remembered.
to that. But okay, my apologies. I misunderstood for a split moment. I'm like, But
well,
yeah,
I do know he mentioned seeing he saw a young porcelain at some point when we were talking about
it
memories.
Is more
That's
probably
true,
actually
right.
interesting that the question actually is how does Porcelain know?
No, what? About Rowley? I was there.
Yeah, but everyone who was there was magicked and remembers things very differently. And you as a child probably wouldn't have been able to stop that, as it were.
I mean, that's new. I wrote that in my backstory.
Yeah, I'm just now because
The third-party observer starts making things confusing.
No, I'm gonna say that it's probably because you lived away from it and your mother has connection high places that you managed to avoid that.
I just assumed that since we got quote unquote whisked away before the actual trouble came along, that they said it didn't matter. We didn't see anything. We don't know anything.
Yeah, but that would still be like your mother pulling strings to have that be enough, as it were, to not have the military intervene.
I mean, hey, makes sense. Sounds like her.
Exactly. Sorry, continue.
But
What
yes,
you were talking about.
So yes, he does recall the ravishing of Rowley. So Parson will say, well, the official report is that it was bandits. The reality, it was Crayope. What end, none of us know. But for whatever purpose, he laid waste to an entire village. And it's not the first time.
it wasn't the only one that night either. I claim to come from a halfling village. I OOC have forgotten it, but it's like it's something within the forest near the lost or the sleeping lake.
It's somewhere near the small woods.
Yeah, but
something. Yeah.
it was completely wiped out by what the cover story was undead, and Creope's men basically solved it. And Asri claims to be a survivor of that village, which is what brought her to Creope's attention in the first place.
The man's a monster.
They were looking for something, and I still to this day do not know what. But if I find it before they do, oh man, I'm gonna Shrek it.
Actual hell.
I don't know what in the actual hells, but we've been to an actual hell now, haven't we? You and I experienced that together, Fluke.
Memories.
Wait, we're not in cave anymore, right? Why am I playing cave music? Let's go to this one.
Well, now that we've made confessions and we have a better idea of what's going on, if everyone's all rested up, I think it's time to face consequences.
Let's see how Decorum's doing. And I guess we go back.
Okay. Decorum's still unconscious.
Yep.
Breathing a little more regular now. But still not much of a difference.
You know?
Hang on, where's Lady Licky? She's still here?
She...
Got out with us.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's still here.
Alright, actually, instead of the tension floating disc, I'm gonna put him on her back.
I spent 10 minutes
Fucking
doing the
slump.
disc for nothing then. Well then,
I-
all of you better pile on that. At least up to 500 pounds.
Well, Teak can rest on it. She says she's definitely worse for wear.
Teak looks up, looks back at your spellbook, and looks back at the spellbook and looks up again.
Yes, I would very much so like to continue studying the spell, please.
Makes
you-
sense.
Okay.
I give her a boost up onto the disc.
And we're off.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else has done it, because I think everyone dismissed them, but if we're able to have a tensor floating disc out and it's not faltering, Fluke would probably resummon VV into the physical plane.
Okay. That's
Same with
possible.
Chonkas.
Yeah.
All our familiars come back and they're no longer...
It's like in Pokemon where they're out of a situation, like everyone stretch your legs out of those balls.
Yelp. And we're on our way. We will get to the village. We can go that far.
Two of
We'll be
you
strong.
make a survival check.
Survival.
I got proficiency in that, so I'll do one.
Neither of the characters I am playing have that.
How is
But-
Kozim survival?
Pretty good.
These are
No, actually, it's probably very, very average.
I was gonna say, I know I have a
Connor.
+3 to it, but if anyone has a +4 and wants to do their survival, Fluke, do you?
I do not.
Cool, Asri will roll then. Hey!
Good job, Asher.
That's pretty cool. Right,
Very
hey,
nice.
look at that. I'm not gonna die to the swamp today.
Fuck you, Swamp.
DM says, "Oh, really?"
I'll die to something
Well,
in
then
the
you'll just
swamp,
die
not the
tomorrow.
swamp. Oh, you know what? Fair enough.
Okay, one moment. Let's get it there. Okay. So, as you're traveling, I imagine at first all of you look kind of hopeful at Kozim. As it turns out, he has also no idea where you're at. So, doesn't know the way. But you do remember that they were talking about traveling north a lot, so Porcelain and Ashay together figure out where north is and head opposite. And I'd say about 10 hours of like actual traveling, so probably somewhere in between there you have another maybe not full short rest, but at least like moment to take a bite, sit down for a bit.
Yeah.
Check on
And
decorum.
Who's probably
in the
still
late
unconscious.
evening you arrive at the Silverblossom clan. I'll put
Alrighty.
it back here for now.
When we roll up there, how do the people look when, like,
Probably
are
in
they
bed.
mourning the death of their god?
Everyone make a perception check.
I'm decent at that. I think. I hope.
I'm normally decent, but apparently, there you go.
Not
Thank you, Kyle.
today.
That one's gonna be wow. Teek's more perceptive than Asri. Asri's like, please, I don't want to have to talk to anyone. Oh no.
Ezra and Porcelain are too focused on how awkward this is gonna get.
I like how we also discussed, we should probably get our story straight. Proceeds to talk about traumatic backstories and to not get our story
Well,
straight at all.
If you still want to, you just have had a lot of time traveling
Yeah,
to try
yeah,
and do
I
that.
suppose so. So then, well, definitely have to tell them that the god's gone. Well, just how? Seriously, I'm going to need both of your help on this. I like do the neck chopping thing. Not good.
Kozim's just like, wait, Bull's dead?
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure.
Don't we though?
We don't.
We don't.
The DM said that they move on to the next place that they're supposed to be. Pool of Hell spot could be that she's supposed to be where in the village. We don't
you're right.
know for sure.
You're right. All right, I redact.
I'm going to
One way
straight up be the mayor from Godzilla in 1990s with Matthew Broderick, but you don't know for sure.
All right, I redact.
Pool of Hell's the next place to be was one pool to
All
the
right,
left.
then instead I will say we know that Hephe is dead, and we'll have to tell them about that. And that, everything Chodi's been doing.
And that
Yes, Shudi was
clan.
manipulated by devils, and they were.
It wasn't even just devils. They came along for the end of it, sure, but it sounds like it was his clan that was orchestrating this whole mess.
And more to the point, we need to inform them that the clan split. Those who wanted to come out with it like Chodi did, and those who said, nah, son, we need to destroy the Pool of Health. Or maybe they call it the Ravaging Waters, considering we call it the Ravaging Flame.
And that there is a field of anti-magic slowly seeping from the mines.
They do need to know that bit, don't they?
Of course they do.
I definitely need to know that bit.
We don't
Well,
even
the
know
good
when
news
it's
we
going
have
to
is we
stop.
freed Only good news we really had to say is we freed a bunch of captured souls.
Silver lining.
I mean, considering, like, their dead went there, did that mean we also freed a... I mean, we only saw dwarves down there, but...
Well, there was Hefe's mother and her group as well.
It's true.
I don't know, I know that place had some ancestral meaning to the clan, but to some degree as well, so I'm wondering how many of their ancestors may have also been trapped.
Certainly food for thought. Could also make them aware of the civil war across the land, just so that they know. Not that
Yeah.
it'll matter too much.
Yeah, it more than likely won't reach this far out.
Well, hopefully, and she's like fingers crossing, hopefully.
Give me 1 second while I complete the message that Asha gets back.
Ooh, ooh.
Sweet.
So we should probably go over the broad strokes. Anti-magic field. Pool of Health was captured and released, and we do not know what will happen to her from there. Hopefully she'll be seen again. Let's see.
Do we explain that their god was
Chubby,
being poisoned?
Of course.
Okay, making sure.
Yes,
Hey.
definitely. I mean, they probably knew that much to some degree. They had an inkling.
Well, I
Bad
knew
things were
something
happening.
was wrong, but knowing the culprit and the means, important.
What's that?
There's at least, do we know what happened to the people that were okay with Shorty? Did they all die down there?
What?
Like, the clan that didn't want to, the half that didn't want to destroy the Silverblossoms, did they all die, or... I know they split.
No, that's all we know. It's they fucked off. That's it.
Okay, so we should probably let them know that the Flame Clan has at least two factions. One that is okay with them, and one that wants them destroyed. So just
And-
be wary.
That they are attempting to release the ravaging flame, and that it may not. I don't know. Should we even try explaining what we know about the ravaging flame? About how it's a spirit gone mad, and there's a chance to restore it. Would that be relevant
Well,
to them?
I mean, it may be, I suppose. That
Would they even believe us?
Good question. I mean, for that point, we're relatively fair, positive that aspect of it is true, considering the other fire spirits information we've received. But I don't know. It seems the right thing to do, but it might get them turned on us a little bit.
Oh, I've already concluded we'll never be welcome back here ever again.
I mean, do any of us want to come back here ever again?
No, not really, no. I'll be honest.
Suppose we can mention that the flame's been corrupted. It is unclear if it'll ever be uncorrupted. For now, don't trust them. Perhaps one day there could be peace. I suppose might be the way to go.
And this is
Just
why
continue to be wary.
This is why I believe that you and Asri should do the talking.
I mean, I was trained to do talking pretty decently.
You-
I don't know how seriously they'll take me. I mean, humans have their issues with kobolds. These people, I don't think, are any more friendly to them, but I've got a smooth tongue. I was taught.
A brilliant
I was
words,
given
just
public. I was getting public speaking lessons.
do your best, and Well, we're already anticipating getting mobbed out, so just do your best.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, Asri and I can run pretty fast. Teak, Porcelain, Decorum's got his lizard. What are we going to do if things turn hairy?
Run. Obviously. Get it far enough distance and break the coin.
Also, as you see her pull out as she's reading something over, she says, "Good news, Fluke. We're on the same side." She does in air quotations. The Fate's Fortune was hired for various missions.
Well, that's good.
Some might have been conscripted, it says. That's less good.
That is definitely less good, yes.
They will inform the Compendium Athenium about Galrok's death. Teak, your modifications to the watch are amazing. I don't know, you were on my side too, but I'm pretty sure now anyone who's a Knight of the Sleeping Watch is just on the side of the rebellion.
Wonderful.
Well, to be fair, I mean, dragons tend to live too long and get a little too big for their britches for what I've seen in, like, I guess, general history. I mean, a dragon ruler isn't necessarily a horrible idea, but after a while, things get a bit... He'll just kind of, like, wave his hands in the air. Dictatory, I guess, might be a good word for it.
Just say it, they're a bunch of cunts.
I mean, it's just one of those things where kings start out bright-eyed and then they grow old and bitter, and with a dragon's lifespan, that's just worse.
Oh, please. They don't get
much worse.
Bitter, they get spoiled.
Oh, that too. I mean, the same thing can happen to elves, I assume, but they're just, you know, they also don't have the whole, my true form is stories taller than you, and if I disagree with you, I can just eat you. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Unless there's specific more that you want to talk about. As you arrive at the snoozing watch, at the Silverblossom clan. It's because I'm looking at the wrong map that I get confused. Fluke and Teak. You notice a distinct lack of people. They seem to be the moment you get up, you'd expect like watches to be set and people to be like moving around, but there are none. And especially you, Fluke, know that they can be quite vigilant with their watches.
Oh, they're depressed. They're going through some shit that's not good. Or it might be, well, they might know some things, which might be for the best.
I don't know, I've got a bit of a feeling, I say, and I send Elvira off to go and do some reconnaissance around.
Okay. Make a perception check with advantage for.
I love some advantage.
I do assume that as we're talking about this, at least while sad and depressed and dealing with a lot of shit, Hefe's dad at least seems like he'll put in a good word for us.
He can say whatever he wants about us at this point.
The Kozim isn't at this point is just too tired to really pick up on things. He kind of like similar to Porcelain and Ezra in the beginning, did not really realize that anything was wrong, and now that it's been pointing out, he's starting to get worried as well.
Did we kill the whole fucking village?
With Elvira's 20, as she has a nice vantage point from the sky, and as she looks over, the village, at least the outer parts of the village, seem kind of abandoned. But in the middle, bright fires are lit. There's a lot of people moving about, talking. And as Alvaro is flying around, not sure what the intelligence of a bat is.
Let's see here.
2.
2.
So, I think she's just confused in that when she was with you, Porcelain, she couldn't see us. But now, like, from the top she can, and she feels like she should have been able to see it from the bottom as well. Or at least seen the light, as it were.
Is this the birth of a fire spirit?
But yeah, that's what she sees.
What if I didn't know any better? I'd say they're hiding from something. Can she see what they're doing?
If she goes closer, she probably can. Have you been moving closer while, or have you been waiting while she's scouting, or have you been moving closer to her?
I would have taken a pause and told her to go in and see what's going on.
Then make another perception check with advantage. As she flies closer, she hears voices, laughing and talking and celebrating.
Yes.
And as she, I imagine the light is a little bit too bright for the bat, but to specifically see. But it looks like there's a giant feast going on.
Yes!
Well, here we are to poop the party.
Are we? What if this is the celebration of the return of their god?
I hope so.
What if this is the celebration of the Ravaging Flame clan destroying the Silverblossom clan?
It absolutely could be. I actually thought that at first. That's why I tried saying, like, is this the birth of a fucking fire spirit? Jokingly to chat. I was just like, hey man, it could be either.
Well, I relay what Elvira tells me to everyone, and I say let's
move in.
play some music.
We may have actually saved Pool of Health.
Let's not get too excited just yet.
It's either we get to have saved Pool of Health, or these are probably fire member clan people that we're gonna have to ruffle some.
I don't have any spells, so hope
She
this
looks
shit
at
fight
you.
us.
I mean, true. As she looks past you as Decorum is unconscious on the disc still.
Yeah, we're not exactly like polished for a fight right now, Azri.
I admit you're correct.
Fluke and Azri, I think, are near a max what they need.
Yeah,
Just Teak, you don't have any spells, but just drop your flamingo and repressing fire.
I have 1 second level spell slot.
How does the flamingo thing work? Do you need
That
a
is
spell
a
slot
different
for that?
capability. No, that is a force cannon drop.
Okay, well,
Didn't
if you
she
can do
leave
that,
it
then
in the cave?
I mean, you usually get more than one summoning. I
Well,
think usually.
Ooh, you're right. She did force cannon.
Oh, that was
How
a
many times-
flamethrower. She still has the ballista.
Gotcha.
I don't know. Well, if things get into a fight, we'll have to take a
We'll
second
figure
to
it
figure
out.
out that. Yeah.
Okay. As you approach, or who are approaching?
I mean, I guess
no, I
all
can
of us, I
get that.
suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you're approaching, this point, the sun is getting low, and as you're traveling, it suddenly the air feels more comfortable around you, and as if you're being welcomed by some form of invisible being.
Elf.
As if the forest itself, as it were, is welcoming you into the village. And it seems like when there's like a certain barrier that you pass, suddenly there is just this light, this wave of light and music that hits you. As you suddenly see like the center of the Silverblossom clan. From where about you at this point know that it's still is like fairly close to where Pool of Health itself is. But light and music is coming from it. After a little bit, there's also like this strong smell of various foods that you start smelling. And it seems like a group of centaurs, elves, and gnomes is having a good time.
Now,
Does this look like...
Yeah, do we recognize any of them? Because we interacted with... Oh, I know Flug interacted with a good couple of them.
That's right. Make a perception check.
Don't be a shit roll, please.
Please.
Not one. They're the enemy, murder them.
Survey says
5, not nat 1.
Yeah, 12. It's average.
With a 12, you do recognize a couple of them. You recognize Folan, the dwarf who set the traps that got you. You see in a little bit away from like the music and the dancing, you see at a table see Almer and Tennille, the elves that one of the elves helps you actually reach the cave, and the other elf that was kind of like both our leaders are can't be trusted at this point, so I'm gonna just have to step in right now.
He'll nod
but,
to the so it's
he-
like, okay, we got people.
He was the head of like protecting Pool of Health. That's how you know him as. And the elves seem a lot more calm, but also for elves very relaxed and how should I say, like overindulgent in food and drink.
Good for them.
Yeah, good job.
It's like, we're a little too good for this, but we're still gonna have a good time.
Well, it's not good to overindulge, but once in a while.
Once there's something to celebrate, you need to celebrate.
Yeah.
Also, Folan the gnome is just like drinking life. Life depends on it.
Asri's going to, assuming that nod meant, you know, new people, kind of ask, so lead us to the boss so we can try to maybe lead him away, because we don't want to scare everybody with all of the information all at once. It seems like they're having a party we don't want to spoil.
Wait, who do you say that to?
Fluke.
Luke.
Okay.
He's the one who knows people.
That's true.
I think Boston Ashley also would know the two elves at least.
Ah,
Yeah.
in that case, start walking towards them then.
Okay. Because I think you had like a war meeting with them.
I'll hang behind with the unconscious decorum so that people don't think something's wrong.
Oh wait, the disc follows. You're on Lady Licky, never mind.
Yeah, he's on Lady Licky. I hang with Lady Licky and decorum.
So Teek's following us unless she gets off.
I think the Teak would probably just come with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and I guess we would also just kind of like try and let Kozum reintegrate with his people. I don't know.
I mean, Kozum is gonna come with you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Talk about what happens.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Can't just. Okay, here you go. Bye.
We brought you home. Now we're gonna go.
Drop them off. Have fun at Timmy's.
As you walk in, the first one to notice you is, interestingly enough, Foden, who very drunkenly in Sylvan yells something. You're not sure if he used thaumaturgy or if he just really loud. But for a moment the music stops as you enter, and like the whole clan stares at you before this enormous cheer from the entire crowd comes for you, and people start like coming up to you, and like unless you stop them, they're probably like gonna put you up and like cheer you through, like hold you above them for the entire village, as it were.
Just imagine Fluke gets like brought on one of those little crowd-raising things, and he just looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, Asri's probably feeling about the same if they actually do. I think she does that, like, they start swarming her and she locks up knowing she can't punch them to get away from her. And she's just like locks up.
She's got one fist up by her chin and it's shaking.
She locks up and she's like, please, guys, oh god. She's not gonna stop them or anything, but...
Okay. Gozim, they as well try to like lift up and like parade around the city or around the town. Though he's both a bit heavier, and that forces them kind of to notice like the tiredness of a day's travel and everything that happened. So they leave him be.
And just give him a group hug.
Welcome back, buddy.
But both of you have like super high perception. So both of you do notice that he kind of like mixes with or like walks up to Almer and Tennille to talk with them. But after about 5 to 10 minutes of parading the two of you around, they let you go, and they offer you food, wine, whatever you desire at the moment.
I mean, Fluke will definitely eat, but he's gonna go very light on the wine. He does not wanna soak this kind of pain in alcohol.
Yeah, Asri's going to like poke at him as she like grabs a bread real quick or something and says, perhaps we should go do that talk now before things get carried away.
I'm not going to be drinking a lot, I can promise you that.
She looks at her empty flasks and says, I may not drink tonight, but I'm definitely going to load up if they let us after the talk.
You know, if they have any flasks, I might do the same.
Teak will come over towards Asri and like poke her and say,
I think you should really try to learn more about the spells in this book, Asri. The last one is very useful.
And she is going to then go and start drinking, I think.
Okay.
She does want to drink that kind of thing in alcohol.
Porcelain.
Yeah.
You see your allies, your friends get lifted around, paraded around. What do you do?
I have a very big shuddering sigh of relief because I know that something out of this good has happened. And I'm guessing that maybe Asri is right and Pool of Health is back. And I'm going to lean against Lady Licky and pat the unconscious Decorum. I'm going to say we did something.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. The only tall person stayed behind, so it was real easy to just, like, pass the two shorties around like beach balls.
Yeah,
Seriously.
3 shorties.
You're not wrong.
And there is a moment where I do have some tears for the first time in a very long time because I'm just very relieved that not everything was destroyed.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna wait for them to rejoin me with whoever the bring entire. I think it's probably gonna be what was his name? Alman.
Elmer.
Elmer.
So after bits of time, probably Elmer would come to kind of get everyone, as he does want to know exactly what transpired. He also has very much noticed that there's no Hephe. The rest of the clan does not seem to have fully noticed that yet, or at least not realized what it might mean.
Yeah, fair.
Well, I mean, during the talk, I imagine. Oh wait, that's not with everybody. Might be.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
So he invites you to like the table where he and Smothers were sitting. Folan also has joined at this point. Don't think he's gonna remember much from whatever you're gonna tell him.
What's a dwarf?
No.
Oh.
But Elmer looks at all of you and he says, no, I have to, fuck. Sorry. That's not what he says. And he says, Kozum tells me you went through quite a bit to bring Pool of Health back. He admits that he didn't fully understand what was happening and what certain events meant. Could you explain to me? I'm certainly no expert on magic's Rennie, but I'd like to know what plays under our clan, as it were.
Well, I think first of all it would be good to get some little information from you. So the Pool of Health has been restored, is what I'm getting from the festivities?
Yes, about in the beginning of the day, she suddenly quickly started reforming. And we didn't really understand what. We assumed Hephe had succeeded.
Okay.
I wanted to wait with the festivities for his return, but you can't stop people from celebrating in a situation like this.
Okay, well, let's see. What to go over? First of all, it appears Pool of Health was being poisoned and siphoned, and there were many crystals and souls trapped below, and that has been freed, thankfully. I suppose the most important thing to note is Hephe did perish. It was hard for all of us. His soul actually was originally captured, but the freeing freed his soul as well, which was part of our main goal. The important thing to note, we did run into Chody down there. The Flame Clan did seem to fracture, and Chody, while doing many underhanded things, did seem to have good intentions to the point of which fractured his clan. He performed a ritual under the... He was both working with his... There was a ritual involving some devilly sort of people, some infernal types. And going through with this did end Chody. It did release the souls. And it did release something else, which we don't fully understand. But it is important to note that from from that Tombish cave era we came from, there is an anti-magic field that is slowly expanding out, which may become troublesome for the clan. Luke's gonna look to Azra and see if he missed something. Just I think I went over that okay.
Yeah, I think that's about everything we needed to cover. I'm just trying to think.
Hefe's mother, I say out on the corner of the table.
Are you?
Yes, some of the Silverblossom clan that was with Chody did also perish below the, in the cave system, which is another sin we can put upon Chody. And his clan, or at least a section of it.
It is a lot to take in.
Fluke will nod.
Let's for today focus on the good. Pool of health was saved. Our undergrounds are sort of safe, or maybe not, but we'll keep it as neutral. And Hephe died protecting his clan.
He did do that. I would say the important things for you to keep in mind going forward is one, there is a civil war going on between some people below the mountains and such. It'll hopefully not reach to you, but keep that in mind. Just do whatever you feel is best. Sometimes neutral parties don't do well in civil wars. And just continue to be wary of the Flame Clan. As I said, there is a section of it that may be willing to broker peace, but there is another section of it that absolutely
Will not.
wants the destruction of your clan for the sake of theirs. Can't
It
really help
is-
you telling which is which, but it's important knowledge to have.
Thank you. We have for a long time assumed the clan of the Ravaging Flame to be gone. It's troubling to think that it had spies among us. But
It's definitely
anyway, that's also worries for tomorrow. Or maybe next week.
Or maybe next week.
It's definitely a complicated issue. I would
Playing some Galaxy
treat
Quest
with.
Holy
shit, I'm so sorry. I don't.
What was that? I didn't even know what that was. I thought my headphones were dying.
Flub, you're muted. It was the damn Alexa right behind me.
I would click something on my thing real quick, and I forgot I had my Bluetooth connected to the Alexa right behind her, so it was announcing that it was playing from my phone.
God, wow.
Scared the shit out of me.
But yeah, for a frequent note, I would just keep in, like I said, continue to be vigilant and cautious. I will say that from what we observed down there, they are not a monolith. Not all of them wish for your destruction, but defend yourself, but, you know, best not to also make assumptions. So, the best he feels like Fluke can do, just
Yeah.
doesn't
You,
even...
you make an insight check, actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Fluke has an assumption that he's not going to even take his advice of not treating them as a monolith, but we'll see.
Yeah. And may I?
His insight's not
Sure.
amazing.
Can
15, not bad.
assume we all may insight.
Yep.
I am just rolling shit this morning.
You were better at it, but it didn't matter in this case.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Ezra. There's our spy.
Inquisitor.
Ah!
Porcelain, for you, he's difficult to read, and also because of the lights of the flames, it's difficult to even like see his full face. For Fluke and Ezra, he is considering it, what you're saying, but he doesn't really have like a frame to place it, as it were. He's kind of like now making this separate clan in his head, as it were, that's also called the Ravaging Flame clan, who are not completely evil, as it were.
Porcelain will pipe up for a moment and say, if I may, we do have a member of our party in rather dire straits at the moment. And I hope this isn't imposing, but Hephe did say there was a possibility Pool of Health could heal his ailment.
You see Almer kind of look at Tholan, who at this point just has fallen asleep.
Drunken sleep.
You know what? Good for him.
I'll say, you know what, with the 25 insight, Ezra, you also noticed him like really trying to stay awake, knowing that it's important, but also completely failing.
Poor sod. Poor sod. He's never gonna live it down.
And Almer will say, that is, at the very least we can do is try. How bad is this situation? Should we do it immediately now?
And I put my hands up. Not a medic. Do you have one that's, and I look around, coherent?
He looks at Tennille, who not really a medic as well, but probably actually kind of the same as you, Porcelain, in that he's used to like hunting on his own, and if something happens, you need to be able to at least sort of know what you're dealing with as well. But the two of them stand up and they say, "Bring us to him. We'll see what we can do now."
I got him
Yeah, if
over.
nothing else, we'd like him to be under the most
Supervision.
stabilizing care we can get him.
Especially at the moment.
Yeah. So I'll lead him over and I'll pull his collar back to show him the mark and say, we do understand it's a kind of cursed affliction.
As you show it to them, both of them kind of like flinch, as it were, like take a step back and have to take a look again. And yeah, we better do this right now. This does not look good in any way. And you follow Almer, who, like with Lady Licky, it's doable carrying Decorum, but you take a little bit of a very difficult path, and like multiple times Almer has to like kind of stop you and like disable the trap temporarily and then stay behind to enable it again once everyone's passed. But you do kind of like, without the main clan noticing, bring Decorum to Pool of Health.
I'm gonna hoist him off of Lady Licky's back and just look for a direction. Do I just... shall I just put him in, or...
Yes.
Normally this would be the Hefe's doing, but I imagine so. Let's do this. And they both seem kind of uncomfortable, like knowing that they are sort of breaking traditions, breaking how things are supposed to go here.
Breaking tradition a little.
But they also they are also the two people who would be like delivering punishments for something like that. So, but as Decorum is placed in pool of health, there's this constant like this pleasant ringing noise around pool of health. There's this slight warmth that comforts you as you are close by her. And as Decorum is placed, like his body starts like glowing a little bit. And I'm gonna kind of treat this like a revival ritual.
Oh.
So you see around it some form of like spell / effect. It's not really a spell as it were, but some magical effect is slowly starting to take place throughout the pool. Is there anything you'd like to do to make it easier for Pool of Health to cure this, as it were?
Let's see. Well, so among my highest of stats, because I definitely don't want to say anything because I have shit charisma. I suppose I'm supporting his head, keeping him steady, concentrating on I don't know, think healing thoughts, I guess.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
I'd make an intelligence check.
Oh, thank God.
Because for you, magic, you do magic like a wizard, so
A little bit above average.
trying to keep him like working within the ritual. Okay, that's a success, so that's gonna make it easier for Pool of Health.
Yay.
Anything anyone else wants to do? Go ahead.
Asri's going to put her like hand on like Decorum's either like shoulder or someplace near the affected area, and she's actually going to try to see if she can channel her ki into the area to try and like make it easier for Pool of Health to get it in there, if that makes sense.
Okay, make a wisdom check.
Yoga Gadget Wisdom. Woo!
Bless you.
Nice roll.
Thank you.
Blessed by the
Okay, so with that, you kind of like unlock Decorum's body, making it easier for different energy sources. This is also like
That's kind of
a
exactly
strange way, kind of like your area of expertise in the combination of a ritual and ki.
Woo!
Makes sense.
So you know precisely how to make it as easy as possible for the magics to affect his body as well.
Okay, and Fluke will let out a mild sigh because his relationship with Decorum is somewhat complicated, but he's going to be there for him because he definitely doesn't want him to die, and he is, I would very much like to roll a persuasion check. He is going to, basically did a lot what he did with the last time in, using his, inspiring leader along with persuasion to kind of give him a pep talk, just like, come on, get up, you know you are you're better than this. You let that healing energy in. You're Decorum of Rule, tiebreaker of the Speaker of Tiamat. Just starts ripping off his titles.
I was going to see if you were going to commit and do them all.
Make a charisma check.
The laugh kind of. I wish it was a persuasion. I have expertise in that, but I'll do charisma.
Hey, not bad though, right?
No.
That's very good. Okay. And I'm gonna roll food
Just
health.
gives him a shake. Rider of Lickies, come on now. Slap.
Rider of Lickies. Who's gonna ride Licky now?
I imagine that just as like say that lady Licky comes up and licks his face like a dog, just like.
That'd be cool.
As is happening, Decorum starts like glowing more and more until he's like this vibrant, like white bluish color. His body actually, not his clothes, and it seems like the color is where the like conjugates around the space where his affliction was, and as it then kind of like pulls away from him, it takes the whole affliction with it and evaporates above him as Decorum wakes up with no more affliction on his neck, but also no more paladin levels, or well, levels abilities.
Oh no!
Worth it. Worth it.
He's not dead.
Oh no! Like, oh.
Well,
Cherry, if
it's
you were ever
because
gonna come back.
it's
I'm
because
sorry.
it's because he's no longer associated with the entity that gave him powers anymore. But he can promise himself to another entity.
It's not quite how
Oh,
Paladin
you know,
He can find something worth fighting for us. For.
Yeah. A girl.
That'll be. You start singing the song, and then instant tonal shift.
And her name is Pool of Health.
Yeah.
And with that, I should just be going break.
I agree, because
Fair.
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm basically promised to a demon lord, and cultists keep coming after me, so I think that counts as baggage. But I just I don't really know anything about it. Definitely doesn't seem good.
It's like when you start adulthood and you find out that like your parents sold your identity a long time ago.
I am wanted in 27 states. Okay, I'm gonna move.
So you're just gonna throw that out there.
It's like you grew up and you found out you're the child of like people who kidnapped you, and it's just like, well, I had a pretty good life, but this is fucked up. What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, that's actually, you know.
I mean, technically, I was kidnapped, but I was kidnapped from a merchant.
How many times in this campaign are you just gonna keep making Tangled?
I do really like Tangled.
Alright.
I mean, to be fair, Eugene does seem a bit like a swashbuckling rogue.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He's got that charisma, but he's not a bard.
You're Eugene and Rapunzel.
Yeah, that's just like, that's weird.
So you're telling me that somehow Eugene got into the body of Pascal, and that didn't stop them?
Oh god, yeah, Eugene, Rapunzel, and Pascal all thrown into a blender. Just like, why did the dress make me so purple? That doesn't make sense. It's good times. It's also reminding me that Road to El Dorado is literally just a two-person campaign with a bard and a rogue.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I know is I think that we might just maybe get to Ralgo's character by the end of the session.
Hopefully.
Oh, he's screaming in his room.
Oh my god, I can't hear it. It's great.
Why is he screaming though? Because
I
we're taking
don't
a
think
while.
we're gonna take much longer here in the clan.
No, I have to drink energy.
Oh.
It's not even. He's just. Oh my god, he's prepared to not play today. I love it.
He's just here to shitpost in chat.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
If he's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm fine doing that. Just I was laying down digesting, and I'm like, get up and do things, maybe.
That sounds hard.
I know.
Participate? No. You guys gotta have an entire another hour and a half where you just get crunk with the crew. You're in a party village now. You gotta party.
Here's the thing. Azri and Fluke have already pretty much said that they're not gonna. And they're gonna fill their flasks.
So very heavy echo.
What's...
All three of you.
It's my headset. Hold on. There we go. You said that you weren't gonna when you thought things weren't gonna go well, but then you found out everything was better than expected.
Hefe's still dead, and we're putting closure on that. We finally... Okay, our characters finally get to have closure on this. Do not take that away from us, Detweiler, or do you want us to keep bringing up Hephe death?
I mean, considering that the closure is getting crunk and partying with the crew...
It's not true.
Porcelain's not going to get wasted, but she will drink. I will say that. There will be quite some drinking tonight. I'm not going to throw up this time, though.
Moderation. Luke's also thinking about a lot of shit, so he
know what I
doesn't want to
do
be drunk right now.
during this party.
Okay.
I want to talk to gnomes and elves who have been to the Fey Olympics to learn more about them.
Okay.
Or at least know more about the Feywild. That's a good idea.
But let's kind of wait for that until Flips back on stream.
Oh, my bad. I didn't reassign this yet. It's gonna go to the old thing again. Hold up. Boop. There we go. Screw you. I got it right. Haha. Let's go. My bad, y'all.
And mute.
It jumped back first to the same loading, or it's the same pause screen, so it looked like misloaded or something.
It's because yeah.
Okay. Decorum is awake for a short bit, but still very exhausted. So I imagine after the successful ritual, you bring him somewhere a little bit away from everyone else to rest.
For the split moment that he's conscious, I'm gonna say, "You're all right, mate."
And he hears that, and he's just no.
No. Poof. I love it.
And he
Slaps him a couple times at the cheek, just walk it off. He'd
be less unconscious at this point, and more just too tired to move, as it were.
I'll carry him again onto Licky, and then we'll take him someplace to lay down.
Okay. So I'll say you just bring him somewhere safe, somewhere calm, as it were, away from the party, and.
There's a perfectly good jailhouse.
That was, by the way, just a house. It wasn't a specific jail.
They don't really have a jail.
Well, that's why I called it a jailhouse. It's literally a house being used to hold someone to a degree. Not really.
It's
put him in the
interesting
nice
words.
pantry.
Is he still I don't know how Pool of Health water is. Is he still soaked?
I'd say no. It's it looks like this when you look at the pool itself. It looks like this super crystal clear water, but also for you, when you touch it, you have to actually kind of get in yourself to hold decorum, and the water itself is much thicker than you would expect it to be. It's almost like some form of jelly, as it were, when you get to it, and when you get out of it again, it is as if you hadn't been in water at all.
Is there a slurping noise when I pull him out?
No. Maybe there actually is, but the heavenly music drowns it out.
You lucky punk.
Okay.
at least Almer and Foden are gonna rejoin the party. Whatever the rest of you want to do is up to you. Lady Licky is gonna stay with Decorum and guard his sleeping place.
What does she eat? Have we ever figured out what she eats? Does she eat? She's a mount. She's not a familiar, so she eats, right?
You haven't seen her eat. You have also seen her appear in places where she couldn't possibly be.
Oh.
And the Decorum just kind of called out to the water, and she appeared. So.
I will offer her an apple.
If offered, she is definitely gonna eat it. And she looks at you like with the puppy eyes of, for me? More for me?
Yeah, it's a feast. I'll go grab like a bowl of fruit and bring it to her. She's been a good girl.
And she
Imagine now that the mounts are eating the familiar, especially Lord. I imagine Lord Chalker's like piling grapes into his mouth or something.
Lord
Yeah,
Chonkers
like a
is
Roman
still being
emperor.
paraded around by the group because
Yeah.
he never let it stop. Like
Yeah,
when they
he's
try to
just
stop it,
being like-
Momo.
Mo. No, he will allow them to stop if someone starts to feed him.
That's
Like,
fair.
think of those peel the grapes for me kind of paintings.
It takes a while for the clan to figure that out, though. The communication isn't super well. So Porcelain, you wanted to talk with some people. Make an investigation check.
All right, I'm good at those. No, I'm not.
15.
All right.
Decent.
You learn bits. People are like almost like wanting to be helpful to all of you. It's like when you start asking about it, like the people who don't know, like start looking at each other and they immediately start like running off and finding the people who do know about it, and those people themselves also like very happy to share what they know. And especially a couple of the relatively like younger gnomes. For them, like this was when they went there was like the event of their lifetime, at least up till this point, as it were. So they're like you get a lot of like grandiose stories of the amazing games between the Weird Phase, and like some of the games are just completely incomprehensible because they deal with what sounds like teleportation, but when they explain it as if they're just walking and suddenly appearing somewhere else without like doing anything or doing any magic, as it were. With the 15, but you do find what is very interesting to all of you is that in the Feywilds, magic seems to be enhanced. When you deal damage with magics, you can reroll your ones.
Ooh.
It's also much more difficult to control. So if you roll a natural 20 with magic, you roll on wild magic.
Ooh.
Oh.
Tracking in the Feywild is next to impossible. If you try to track something or navigate through forests, just for mechanics' sake, it's with disadvantage. And specifically tracking something is... it's like basically like everyone always has pass without a trace pass without a trace cast upon them.
Ooh. So, if you're trying to be sneaky, are you even more sneaky?
It's not about sneaky, it's about like if you're trying to sneak around in a camp, as it were, you're not. But if you're trying to run away and you manage to break like a line of sight of a group that is following you, then yes.
Dope.
Good,
And
we need to book it.
you you do get a couple more stories about the time being different. And one thing you notice is that it's not just that sometimes you like you appear and like it isn't like a day, not a day has passed, but there's also some stories of the people themselves aging as they, or de-aging even, when they return.
Right, I will say in character for this one, I've heard of this phenomenon. Is there any way at all to control it? Navigate it?
Well, I mean, it depends how you go. If you travel yourself, probably not. But if like you meet like we had like a guide from the Feywilds who would help us with it, and they could kind of like control it. But you know how Fey are, like that's kind of what happened. Like we had made a deal, like they wouldn't put us in any like different time period. We had promised like we will come back 24 hours after we'd left. But then they made all of us like a couple years older. So you have to be careful with what you like ask, but whoever sends you back or forth can kind of control it.
And for when you asked them to do that for you, did you pay them anything in exchange?
Well, I think they just really want us to come and look because they had like bets and everything, and like there's a whole event like surrounding it, and I think they just want as many people there as possible, so they were just kind of like trying to be as convincing as possible, as it were, to get us there. But I mean, most of the Fae like are just like, well, maybe a bit more like you than like me, but as he kind of glances to your ears. But like a lot of them are like similar. They also like things and like good food, and they like friends and family and stuff.
So it's entirely possible to curry favor with persuasive items or favors.
I mean, yeah. Especially if you wanting to like see the games, and if you just like make some friends, they can be nice. And like, out of character, did you tell him you wanted to like participate, or just
yeah
like,
I would
okay.
have fully said we're thinking about going, so we need to know more about it.
Okay, in that case. And I think they do also make sure to like treat their competitors right, as it were.
Go.
Like, not a lot of people would come if they knew they could just be sent back millennia later. That wouldn't make sense.
Certainly fair. And I don't know if anybody's with me right now, or if I'm just doing this solo.
And if anyone wants
as
me
we
to come?
can be with you if you want. Like, should easily be there if you like. No, if you wait for over God.
If you mentioned that you were getting information on the Feywild, then probably.
Okay, yeah.
You mentioned
I
what you were
was
going to ask
choking on
about.
my.
Yeah,
tongue.
I think I would have. So I am going to look at Asri and say, I think if we at least promise one of the items we have the potential to winning in the games to whoever is going to be sending us back, that could be enough.
Yeah, I think we can. There's a few things that we could give them. Like, she reaches into her bag. Still got these things, the potions of sea invisibility.
Oh, I've got this, I say as I take out a potion of fire resistance.
Like, I don't. We bought these. Technically speaking, Mr. Anthony Pearson bought these, but he doesn't know that.
I wave my hand. Will he even notice it? Is he still alive, actually? I look down at her.
She kind of like blinks and she like, I have yet to ask if the Pearson family is okay. I assume that if he was dead, I don't know, actually.
Would they even tell you? I mean,
They seem to, if I ask a question, they seem to be willing to, whoever my commanding officer guy seems to be willing to answer them. Like, I asked about the Fate's Fortune, and, they answered that.
well, there has been a lot going on, but I suggest maybe finding that out.
Yeah.
Fluke will also just smile at Ezra. Thank you for getting the name right. I noticed that earlier, but I wanted to thank you for that. I mean, the running joke's funny and all, but you know.
Yes, the running joke is I won't lie, pretty fun for me. But clearly, when we're talking about the life or death of your what is the closest thing to family you have, is probably not the good time to make the joke.
Just nod. I mean, it helped give me names for my swords. I've got Fortune's Favor and Fate's Faith, and it makes sense. It works.
The Fortune's Favor was mine, thank you. That's the one I kept messing with.
Well, yeah, but then I thought, well, that's a good name for my sword, and then I'm like, okay, well, I got another one now. Gotta do something with Fate, and it's gotta have alliteration. Fate's Faith, that'll work.
Well,
anyways,
all being
about
said,
the Wilds.
now we seem to have depleted in our group, and I understand we're needing 6 for the games. Is that correct?
I mean, I'm not completely sure they mix those rules up every time they do it. It could be 6, it could be less, it could be 5, and I think 6 is at least the biggest group I've seen.
Fair enough. I'm talking to a gnome right now, right?
Yep.
I'd like to ask, and feel free to not get too into it. I'm not sure how things are there, but I've been raised predominantly human society, and at least with them, well, unless you're very important, half-elves aren't very welcome. And I would just like to have an idea of what kind of air I'll be entering there. Would that be a problem at all?
I don't think so. There might be some that are like that, but it makes you interesting, and being interesting in the Feywild is a good thing usually.
I nod and I say thank you. I just like to know what I'm getting myself into.
How dare you want to know what you're getting yourself into?
I think that's part of the I kind of assumed that. I think that's part of the reason I wanted to go, because a purple, smooth-talking kobold that has stabbed robots to death seems pretty interesting.
You're not wrong.
I've always found you interesting, Sir Fluke.
Just fold his ears a little bashfully, just like, oh, that's... I thought the same of you, to be honest, so it works, and Ezra's never been uninteresting, I'd say, since the first day I met her.
We did do things on, she's like things like the drinking thing, the contest of asking questions, that's what it was. That seems so long ago.
Fluke just thinks back to our motley crew that we started with, just like, we've never really had anyone all that ordinary. Even a human dragon blood wizard would have been pretty bog standard compared to anything we've seen.
Oh, I believe Dame Teak is very wholesome.
Well, she's wholesome, but she's certainly not
I imagine
not
immediately
ordinary.
a shot of Teak being completely wasted and being in a shouting competition with some gnome somewhere.
She's probably up on a roof drinking and showing them,
Hey guys, watch this.
As she would fucking use catapult to launch a rock.
Just like show
Dire
off,
Crow
show off,
cheers.
Just like, watch what my force ballistas can do. Just starts like.
Do you like flamingos?
Like flamingo's never been so threatening.
What's a flamingo? Oh, I'll show you what a flamingo is.
Let me show you.
I can't do an evil teak voice. I don't think that's possible.
It's
Very
fine.
difficult.
Good job, Quinn. You made a voice that I can't do an evil version of.
It's just too wholesome.
On that note,
Uh,
any other
drink.
people we can ask?
There's a couple of people that you can talk with or about whatever you want. Is there more you want to do? Well, yeah, apparently, but
Asri will fill her flasks and probably to partake of some food.
okay. But you did also want to look for more people to talk with about the Feywilds, or
Porcelain? That's up to you.
Well, I'm not sure what more else we're going to learn for like tips. Have I met anyone who's participated in the games?
no one has in the clan has participated. Who's
Okay.
alive right now?
But can I hear any stories of clan members who have participated?
Sure.
Maybe.
You would be. Roll me a d12.
Okay. Boom, boom. 9.
9.
Alright.
The story is it is kind of like how they're telling it you now because they want, as I said, like they want to help you as much as possible, as it were. But they do explain to you like when the person who went through it was alive. They kind of use this story to tease on him, as it were. But like since he's died, the story hasn't been told anymore because it now feels just like it's really rude to like start like talking about that about the dead. But an elf previously has participated in the first round, which was back then hosted by the Court of Thistles. He partook in a challenge that in that one the teams were all one person, and like about 100 people were set in a maze and they had to collect these weird orbs, and their score was based on that. And the story goes how he couldn't find one orb, and then one of the of a rival clan of his gave him an orb as a like a basically just like as a middle finger, because he already knew he was like through, and the one orb wasn't gonna help him, and so he kind of like had his pride hurt a lot as he was out in the first round.
Woof.
I see. So these challenges aren't necessarily always fight a peril. It's also challenges. Thinking, finding.
I think they said there'd be a lot of skill-based challenges as well.
Did they? I just don't remember. I just remember being told if you can beat or escape from a Hydra, you'll be good.
Aside from the challenge, the main thing is the performance you give with it, as it were. The rulers of the different courts score you, and they completely arbitrarily on how what they like and whatnot.
They want gravitas.
They want to be entertained.
Well, I've done that before. And I kick back my drink.
He did get some pity points, though. For,
Pity
like,
points. Oh my
entertainment.
god.
Didn't help his pride.
I'd
It's even
imagine
worse,
not.
honestly.
All right.
Well then, I look at the other two. How do we feel about leaving tomorrow?
I mean, it's
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it sounds good. There'll be maybe some mild party atmosphere we could invite our host into and be, give them some food. I don't know.
Well, it
What
depends
I-
on how long they can stay.
Yeah. What I do know is they're expecting, and she'll like pat her pouch and say, they're expecting me to get back, quote unquote, as soon as possible. And I can't really think of another way to get back quicker than saying, drop me off in the Vasti Feywilds.
Yeah, that might not even be even like a wish level thing for them. Just like
That's
hey,
where
we're
they drop us
done.
off.
Where can you drop us off?
Is that
Just like yeah.
is that where we would like to land?
I mean, maybe not exactly Levasti. You're right.
I was about to say,
Something
like,
to
middle of the
decide.
war. Here you go, live Asti.
We'll have to obviously think of an exact location we want to go drop to.
Location, time, and condition. I say, counting 3 fingers.
Correct. I was not trying to say that. I'm just saying that the premise is that where they drop us off may be within not a wish level thing.
Okay. So, unless there's more you want to do during the party, I suggest you party off screen.
Yep.
And
Woo!
have your long rest, wake up somewhere in the middle of the day the next morning.
Oh, long rest. Oh, come here, spell slots.
So I was just doing fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to see how it goes, I'd imagine Fluke would talk to a lot of the villagers, just nurse his wine just lightly throughout the night, and just try and buck up a little bit. But
Porcelain gets drunk.
that'd be-
She doesn't get shit-faced, but she does get drunk.
Hold on. I believe Constitution saving throws usually dictate that. I'm making a joke, obviously.
Being a jerk.
I didn't even end my sentence. I said making a joke, obviously. Gosh. I'm not a jerk, just a jokester.
I freak choice.
Use a jerk. Jerk.
Hey, I'm a jerk just because your character died before mine again.
I need someone else to die before me, okay? Please.
How about you just don't die?
How about sorry for doing things and living a lifestyle of an adventurer.
I just love how indignant you got.
Someone else has to die before I die. How about you just don't die?
Why didn't I think of that, Tijok? Okay.
Thank you, Ralgo.
You just don't lose health.
When we wake up, I'm going to go check in on decorum.
As
No.
Oh no.
When you come at decorum, he is awake. He is clearly like feeling very strange. not really sure what's happening as well. Oh crap! Now that I think about it, when he was secured, Lady Licky would have disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, then I had to carry his ass all the way to the fucking tent or house or whatever.
He's gonna have to replace Ryder with Lickies with the cured.
But yeah, that's Decorum right now. It seems a little grumpy that he missed the party as well.
Yeah, that tracks.
But I imagine he
nudge
doesn't
him.
really quite know how to feel at the moment.
I nudge him and I say, we can still have brunch.
That is a good idea. And he starts leading you, not knowing how the town's laid out at the moment, and just starts looking for brunch.
That sounds like Decorum.
Over brunch, I'm sure we discuss, like, what's going on with him. And, what is he gonna do? Now that he doesn't have any paladin powers.
Well, the DM doesn't want to speak for the player.
Fair enough.
He doesn't know, and he's
So, yeah,
very concerned.
He doesn't
DM,
know.
if it helps you,
He doesn't
Cherry's
want.
already. Oh, go ahead.
Cherry's already?
Oh, I was gonna say, Cherry had already messaged me about how to distribute loot.
But I'll say he does want to come to the Feywild with you, though he's figuring that he probably should stay in the audience for as long as he doesn't have his abilities.
Oh,
Makes sense, and it also makes sense how he'd be willing to lend us some stuff, since he won't be a combatant.
But Porson will put a hand in his and it's like, that wasn't even a question. Of course you're coming with us. I can't just go fuck off to the Feywilds without you.
No, okay. You want to make an insight check.
Okay.
I am gonna make decisions for the player, apparently.
Haha!
At least a little bit.
6.
Seems about right.
Okay. He at least like has this brave face of like, no, I wasn't afraid you were going without me. I was telling you that I will still be gracing you with my presence, even though I have clearly much more important things to do at the moment.
Glad he's not too beat up.
He's
He's
gonna
hiding
be
his
our new
beating
NPC.
upness very well.
Decorum is still knows how to decorum.
Even still, I'll push an extra plate of bacon towards him.
Get your protein.
He will
Eat pig.
not protest that. So the rest of you, I imagine you reconvene during brunch as well.
Yep. I was gonna say, I know Asri probably would have went and cuddled either Porcelain or Teak the night prior, and then would have woken up whenever that person woke up.
I'm gonna say with Teak then, because otherwise you would have been there for the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the rest of the shorty squad rolls up and demolishes the rest of breakfast.
Just like cramming eggs, just like
I will then ask Teak if she would be joining us to the Feywilds, whether as competitor or watcher.
I'm going to ask DM about that because I have no problem continuing to play Teak as that going forward. I just don't. Yeah.
If so, then I think so. Like either way, what I think I'm gonna do, since a 6-player thing is gonna give you, well, Ralgo's character is of course gonna join, but also give you a what is called sidekick, who's gonna help with it. So if Teak doesn't come, you're gonna just have an extra sidekick as well. So that would still someone we need to play those.
Okay.
Yeah. Allow me to rephrase this. So long as you're okay that I'm continuing to play Teak and Quinn doesn't like be upset about it, I can continue to play Teak.
Okay. Then in that case, then Teak will
Join with.
You can play Teak.
Yep.
All right. Feywilds, right, guys? I can't wait to see all the magics.
Like at least we're not losing all our healers as a current.
We still have someone with Arcana. Woo!
Hey.
Yeah.
Wait.
Plus
Never
8
mind.
to her Arcana. Like.
I was gonna say. I said never mind.
Yeah.
There is one
I
thing
can cast a spell.
I'm gonna actively ask DM, and I can message Quinn about it. But the thing that I remember is that he said that Teak was raised in a village of halflings and doesn't know many gnomes, I thought he said.
Yeah, that's also
So-
a thing that I was gonna do next time he was there, is ask if he maybe want to change those languages.
The language.
from
Yeah,
Gnomish
okay,
to
we're looking at
Halfling.
the same thing.
Because Teak was raised in not in a halfling village, but in a halfling family.
My bad.
In that lived in Eway, so fairly big, like the biggest city in the country.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, she has like on occasion met gnomes, but not regularly as well.
Okay.
That was with the book the confusion last time.
Yeah, it was. On that note, does anyone actually want any roleplay, or are we snapping a coin, G-Funks?
How's it? Fluke's ready to snap.
It's ready to go fucking off.
Who you gonna kill?
I mean, to say that.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to say goodbyes. Wish people luck and snap a coin.
Okay.
Who wants to see some shit, huh? Who wants to go be spectators from the fan after this shit?
Feywilds.
Kozim and the elves do come to say goodbye as you. They probably do lead you like a little bit away, as if you do this like where the whole clan is, then suddenly everyone's gonna join.
I mean...
So? Who doesn't want to be a spectator for this shit?
Yeah, they don't want to
One
lose
party
all
to the
their.
next.
They don't want to use all their clan lose all their clan members to face. And as you snap it, for a moment, there's this shock through the coin, and you like instinctively let it fall on the ground. And as it falls on the ground, it immediately like melts away into the ground, and from where it's melted, vines grow up and form this portal, through which a very old, grumpy-looking satyr walks out.
Oh, it's not the same one as before.
She said it might not.
Kind
be.
of on the other side of the of the map.
No, it's the same one. Time's just been a bitch.
Maybe I'm second guessing going in there then.
Hey, he found his true self, and that's what matters.
He kind of like looks over all of you. Don't look like much. What? Nah, none of them look like much this time.
Well, that's inspiring.
Ready to go?
Shall we?
So,
Ready ready to prove this this guy wrong.
She's like, yeah, I hope. Through the world, and she's gonna go stomping through the portal. So just go running through.
Make an
Oh boy.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
You should be good at that.
I +8, right?
Nat 2.
20.
Net 12.
So close. It was almost an at 2 on that dice.
You go to walk through, and then as you put your hand through, you notice that it doesn't go through, and you manage to stop yourself in time from like just bonking against the wall, as it were. As the satyr says, one couple things first. Which 6 of you are going? This is not the spectators. No. Wait, he wouldn't say that, sorry. Who is all going?
Myself, and I point to Azri, and I say, this one, this one, this one, and him, as I thumb back to Decorum.
I'm gonna spectate for you.
Okay. And who will all be participating?
The 4 of us. And I say, he will be spectating to Decorum.
Alright. And then the 4 of you, I need a little bit of blood. This is for your own protection. If something happens, it will help us help you.
As he's gonna
As
reach.
he hands all of you like a tiny vial and says, only couple drops, don't need to fill the whole thing up.
May I insight check?
Sure.
I want to do the same.
Yeah.
He trusts him, but he's
What
still,
is
just in case.
All your
fucking
insights are 6.
insights lately? I don't know people anymore.
You used to.
I don't know what the
spent too
cave.
much time
I've been in
in
the
the
caves
cave.
too long.
It's the cave.
Oh, we were all going to the same place.
Person with a 6, he definitely seems to be enjoying watching you like struggle with it. For Fluke, he is hard to read. He seems genuine in everything he's saying. For Ezra, kind of same thing. Though he does seem, how do you say it? He does seem very direct, and from what you remember, Faye, they can't directly lie, as it were. They can mislead you, but if he says like this is gonna, specifically directly says this is gonna help us help you, then that's what it's meant for, as it were. He can't directly tell you that's what's gonna happen if that's not what it is for.
Cool.
Just like a Faye that cuts through the bullshit. What is this?
He's old. He's tired. He can't deal with the bullshit anymore. Listen, when you get to his age, you don't have the energy for the bullshit anymore. You gotta have nice, soft shits, otherwise it rips your butthole asunder.
Jesus Christ.
That imagery.
That's some imagery, yeah.
Well, I'll unsheath my sword an inch or so and run my thumb across it.
As he
Put
does
some
the
blood
same.
in the vial.
But pulls out one of his daggers and just kind of pricks his finger and just kind of squeezes. It's like,
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze your life juice. Squeeze your life juice out, baby.
No, that's something else entirely.
oh wow. Life juice and life-giving juice, 2 different things.
He takes the vials back and puts them somewhere in a coat. And he says, you need 6 in your team. So there is a, how do we put it? Let me quickly look.
It is accurate though.
What's it called? Prerequisites,
Yeah, prerequisite.
preliminary. That's.
Oh, preliminary.
There is a preliminary, as we kind of went too much on the whole. One of our recruiters found a place where basically everyone who she talked to wanted to come. So we have too many people.
Was it in Rubel?
I don't know what that is,
Fair enough.
but sure.
Ha! I love this old man so much. Like, IOOC. Love that comment so much just now. But whatever makes you happy, little one.
I already have your blood. It's fine.
Like, straight up. You ready to go? We're ready to go, right?
So, when you go through there's gonna be a big space. Find some people to team up with, and once you're ready, step through the big gates to start your preliminary. You can take as long as you want. Okay, now you can go through.
As we run through.
Thank you,
And
sir.
this time you go through.
Whee! Uses feather fall, which doesn't die. Make a dex saving so it's 20 feet drop.
You know, just for funsies, since they're like, you need to please the crowd, and I part way hope I get a nat one on this. Fluke's gonna try and do some flips in the portal. I'm gonna roll an acrobatics if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, pretty good.
So, as the two of you rush through, the space you enter within the Feywilds is busy. There are lots of people like coming in and out. And so, Fluke, in the middle of your backflip, you suddenly like notice like, oh wait, there's suddenly people before me right now. I need to stop this. And I will say with the 20 acrobatics, you manage to in time stop yourself and at least slightly gracefully still finish your flip, as it were. We're in this. You're still in a forest, although a much more colorful and bright forest as before. You do immediately to the left of you notice this like rather large, similar gate as where you came from. Though you do notice that the ends of this one don't connect, and there's just this like weird veil hanging between two vines. And you see some of the people immediately like walk there, others start to explore like the rest of the area first. You see this large structure, stone structure, dome-like, where you figure the actual event will be. And surrounding that there is just like a big there's, well, one thing is like a big market, but there's like almost this carnival kind of like going on. And just because you have spent so much time waiting, Ralgo, you also notice a little bit away a Goliath. As Ralgo, would you describe your character?
A small lion.
I'm definitely a Goliath. Yes, that stands a nice 3'5". He's got yellow eyes and a nice bald head with gray skin, because he's a Goliath. He appears to be he appears to be a little bit older, but not quite middle-aged. And he's got some muscle tone, but he doesn't look like the strongest boy. And you won't be able to see it, so I won't describe that part, but there's something else special about him that only he knows about.
Do any of us see it because we have special brains?
Because we have special brains.
Do you have true sight?
No.
No.
Oh,
What?
yes, it means it is real!
Yes!
What? I'm so confused.
Oh my god.
You're
Okay.
going to continue to be.
Yeah, I was going to actually message Slumperd about that because of the mind thing, but I realized that's probably not a...
It's not a sight. It's a hear.
I mean, that's not what I meant.
Also-
But I see what you think I meant.
Also, how tall did you say? Because I heard 3'5", and I'm like, that sounds like a dwarf, not a kobold. Or not a
Goliath.
He is a
Goliath.
small Goliath that also has dark vision.
He's a small Goliath.
I'm a small Goliath. Haven't you heard of Adam?
Who?
Fluke's is going to assume you're a very weird-looking goblin at this point.
Just imagine it as a Goliath, but shrunk down.
He has a helm on top of his head, and he's wearing a cloak that's billowing behind him. But other than that, he's wearing pretty simple traveler's clothes.
Okay.
I suppose we see you because you're standing off by yourself.
Do I have my horse and wagon with
Yeah,
me, or is that
you
put
have
up
your
in a
horse and
barn?
wagon with you?
Yeah, then you see him sitting on a wagon that's hitched to a draft horse, and it's got a couple different barrels and other, like, a bunch of feed supplies and other stuff in there.
And I'll say, he looks to be by himself. You want to see if he's available?
Sure. Smallest Goliath I ever did see.
Are you sure that's not just a goblin?
Yes. As we kind of blinks at him, you're a dungeon delver. You know what goblins look like.
Many
I
different
also-
shapes and size.
Well, good thing we're getting this out of the way before we introduce ourselves. Anyone else have anything rude to say?
How far away is he, would you say?
I'm gonna say 50-ish feet.
50. Asri will start walking towards him, and when we get to about 20 feet, she'll start 20 feet in, so about 30 feet away, she'll start waving her hand in the air, and in your character's head, he'll hear, "Hey, look for the halfling that's waving at you. Looks like you need a team. We need a team. Hey, my name's Asri."
Asri, are you my mom? As I
Well,
let him just
Visibly stop. What? That's an interesting question to ask someone you've just met.
Oh wait, are you the actual halfling?
I'm the halfling, yes.
Oh, I thought it was some other voice in my head telling me to look for a halfling that was gonna, like, give me magical powers or something.
No, she finger crossbows at you, says, "No, I'm the halfling."
Oh, how are you able to talk in my head? And then I'll proceed to talk back in your head.
Will I know the difference between him just replying, or a new connection being made?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so she's not gonna know that difference then. And she's going to say, "Yeah, it looks like you're alone. Or do you have a team? Because we need a couple extras on ours."
Are there other people with you?
Yeah, I
They-
would have.
yeah, they're all walking with
trailed
me.
behind.
Yeah, just walk a little behind. Gnome, kobold, half-elf.
Are Teak and Decorum with you?
They would be, unless
Yeah,
Decorum fucks
definitely.
off.
Yeah, I don't know if they haven't given us an area for our spectator.
I do kind of imagine Decorum to be the guy where you turn around in a crowd and he's gone. He goes
Yeah,
wherever
that's-
he wants.
That's
It's
true.
about to happen.
I swear.
Okay,
A
then
little bit more conversation and he's gone.
Then I'm going to use telepathic speech to connect with everyone but Decorum.
Okay.
And I'm going to respond where everybody can hear me.
Hears me.
I think that's how that works. New character, who dis?
Spell section you choose.
Oh, no, just the two of you are within a number of miles.
Yeah.
Miles! Okay, never mind. It's not how it works, not multiple people.
You were
sad
thinking
day.
of the goblin.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the goblin, but yeah.
Then I don't do that. I just reply back into his head, or her head. What was the question again? Sorry? I got distracted by me not knowing my own
You want to be on our
abilities.
team?
Got any people with you? You want to be on a team? Do you have a team?
No, I thought it would be real cool to, come over here and experience the Fey Wilds. Thought it would be something new.
Definitely new for us.
Besides, I heard that there's a wish, and I want everybody to be able to see the thing that's on my head.
She looks towards his head and sees a helmet. Whoa. Okay, so unfortunately I'm part of the people that don't see it.
Damn it! One day!
Unless, and she's gonna sit down and start ritual casting detect magic.
Okay.
Seeing them making intense eye contact with nothing happening, I'm going to nudge her and say, "Can we do this out loud, perhaps?"
Yes, we can speak out loud, unless they, like I don't know. Hey, my apologies. My name's Azri. I mentioned that earlier. What was your name?
I'm gonna again reply in your head. Oh, my name's Vorian.
Her eyes narrow and she stops casting, and she's like, "Did you?" And she's gonna say this in your head. Did you connect into my head without me connecting to yours? Can you do that too?
Maybe.
As he stops casting detect magic, and like, guys, hold on, wait. Connect to her head, and she points to porcelain.
Well, why would I want to do that?
Please.
Wait, he's doing what now?
He can do the me thing.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
What's the me thing? I say out loud.
And she'll connect to your head. This, where I talk in your head without needing to do other stuff. You're the only other person I've ever met that can do this.
What are you talking about? I can't connect to anybody's head.
Did you? Did you not talk in my head a moment ago?
Well, I mean, you were talking in my head.
Can you try to talk in her head?
I mean, I suppose I could try.
Okay. Go ahead and try.
Now, hold on. What's going on
here? Is
here?
this in your head? As I say out loud.
I swear to God. He connected. Okay, as we just kind of slumps, he was able to speak to me in my head after I disconnected from him. And he didn't cast message or anything, so I just assumed, I guess, he had an ability.
Fluke's gonna add to the gaslighting because it would make sense. Just like, are you sure you didn't just leave the connection open?
Oh, now, hang on. Before we're getting too far into this, next time, give me a warning before you go offering up someone prowling around inside my mind.
Okay, sending a message is completely different than prowling around. I didn't say cast detect thought.
How am I supposed to know? I say as I'm referring to the fact that this has all been silent.
Well, I mean, I can cast detect thoughts if you want me to. Do I have permission?
Please no. I just thought you could talk to people in the heads like I could. My apologies.
Why would you think that?
Because I canceled a connection for you and you still spoke in my head.
Are you sure you just didn't leave the connection open like your friend down there said?
100%, because that's something I've learned how to do. Thank you, though. I appreciate your
How long have
concern.
you been here for? Like, maybe it works a little bit different.
You might be right. I doubt it, though. That's one thing. That's a feeling of being connected to another person's head that I've learned to make sure I've disconnected from.
Well, I believe we've got around this quite enough. My name is Porcelain. What is your name?
Hello, Porcelain. My name's Vorian.
Hello, Vorian. We're looking for other members for our group. This is Sir Fluke and Dame Teak. And...
Hello.
This is Decorum.
I'm going to pat the horse and say...
Decorum is away.
Oh. And then I point to an empty space and then look around.
That was Decorum.
That was Decorum. Wherever he is now.
This is Ojan.
Hello, Ojan.
The horse just goes...
I mean, if we're also introducing the various mounts and such, he'll hold out his barrel just like, this is Vivi. How is Lord Chonkers doing? Does he seem at home?
I imagine that Lord Chonkers would probably land on Ojot and just be like, whoa, and let his wings spread out.
And that's Chonkers.
I'm gonna do telepathic speech with Vivi.
Swear to God.
I swear. I fucking swear.
See the bird.
I'm gonna say, nice to meet you, Vivi.
And I think just because it may have seems the most logical, he'll just croak out just like in just perfectly mimicking what you just said. Nice to meet you, Vivi. Fluke was just kind of look at her, just like, what?
Asri almost wants to incite that to be like, is he just fucking with us?
There's a rustling at Porcelain's side, and she lifts her arm, and there's a bat hanging from it, and she says, "And this is Elvira. So, do you have a group?"
No, it's just me and Ojot.
Were you wanting to join a group?
Well, I want to participate, and I have to be a part of a group to do that, so sure.
Well,
See, I told you, Ojot, we just had to stay here, and eventually someone would find us.
I look around. Are there any other loners just sitting around?
It seems less just sitting around. There are you do see like groups forming and people like going around. You see some groups of like smaller groups of like 3 or 2 looking for people as well. I'll say no. What's just because of the sidekick thing? What type of person or abilities as well are you looking for to pique your interest as well?
Well, I'd imagine we'd probably need someone with more healing capability because I don't have anything like that. Does anybody else have healing?
The fuck's healing?
Teak
So the
does.
thing I have is my temp HP I give everyone.
Mm-hmm. So
Teak
yes,
does cure wounds. That's about it.
yeah, looking for a healer. We need a
Okay.
white mage.
Don't fuck with the white mage.
I'll say Porcelain and one person who wants to help her make an investigation check.
Who's good at investigation?
I'm not, but I'll help.
I've got
Teak
a
is at
4.
8. Okay. Nat fucking 20. There you go.
Brilliant.
I mean,
Glorious.
Teak's good at it, so you said
Well, yeah, but
it
like,
comes back.
So you start looking around Porcelain, and I'm on the wrong thing. And have you already introduced yourself, Orion, or do they know your name as well?
Vorian? Yeah.
He said it a few
Okay.
times.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so my name's
I missed
Dorian,
maybe.
not Loud. Yeah.
And Vorian, you've been here for a bit, and you suddenly remember, like, oh yeah, there was this Tabaxi who you had a nice chat with, and she seemed to be able to do some healing abilities. Like she helped your horse get better. Had it hurt,
Is it within
hurt
30
leg?
feet of me?
Hmm?
Is the Tabaxi within 30 feet of me?
As you look around, you can't see her.
Cannot? Okay. So, look, just giving a quick look over at you guys, it sounds like we could use a healer?
Yes, precisely.
Well, I know the perfect one, I think. It healed Ojot here just fine, and he's real friendly. Do you like cats? Of course
Wow.
you like cats, looking at the cat bird creature.
Well, he's not. He's a Tressium, but
Looks
yes.
like a cat to me.
and the wings are that of a butterfly, not a bird. So bug cat, thank you.
Bug cat it is.
Little Chonkers actually like actively glares at Azure like, "Mow!"
Hey, don't talk back, bug cat. That's rude.
Mow! 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 And he's gonna go off to fly and try and find decorum.
Make a
While
perception
you're
check
out,
for Jokers.
try to find your cat friend.
Oh, let me get Chonkers back open. I'd closed him down, I won't lie.
That's a good cat bug. Already looking for the people that I just described. You got a good friend there.
You know, he is, and if his character sheet will open, he'll get to roll that perception. But like, ain't that? You know what? We're gonna close and reopen. See if that works. What is going on here? What's that? Refresh all of roll 20? Okay.
Roll 20 is enough of your shit flip.
Apparently. made a joke for Chonkers to just fly off, and the roll 20 is like, no.
You're the one that called her a cat
Asshole
bug.
cat gets
It was your
nothing.
fault. Bug cat. I agree. I was thinking the same thing about cat dog. Thank you, Slumperd.
One fine day with a wolf and a fur, a creature was born, and it caused a lot of stir. Ain't no three-eyed buzzard, ain't no four-eyed frog. Alone in the world is a little cat dog. Cat dog!
Bug cat.
dog.
Cat bug.
I love
That made
cat
you
bug.
say that.
I didn't see what it rolled, because why did I have it
It's a
all the way at
15.
the top?
With a 15, Chonkers quickly finds Decorum, who has found his way to the carnival and is in the middle of this weird archery game. And like he still has all of his proficiencies with weapons and everything, so he is just like feeling good and like owning a lot of people with the game.
Chonkers will just simply land on him, and every swap and try to do something to give him advantage.
Okay.
And that is what they are off doing.
Well, thank you for recommending someone, Vorion. Hopefully we can find them and find out if they're still available.
I'm gonna start running off looking for him.
Okay.
As a
such
rule,
check.
follow suit.
Hairspray as well, I think.
Okay. Yay. Let me get over there.
Oh wait, actually, I think it would be you would be giving him advantage.
Yeah. That makes
That
sense.
makes more sense because you don't know who you're looking for.
You know.
Wah, wah.
With the 12, it takes you the better part of an hour. But after a bit, you see her, and she is like not really in like a discussion, but it seems in some form of negotiation met with a group of goblins that is kind of like shielding off an area from the rest of the space, as it were.
So she's negotiating with a group of goblins that are trying to
So there
say
there
that
is
that
this,
area is theirs.
I'll say, like, when you look further ahead, you see like it's difficult to say exactly what it is. It could be some form of game or some form of competition. But the goblins are kind of like blocking it off, and it's difficult to say if she's like really negotiating or if she's just trying to figure out what's happening, as it were.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. Hey, kitty, you
Hi.
still want to look for be part of a group? I found a group that's looking for one more. And I they need a healer, and I thought of you.
You see a sigh. For the last time, my name is Spring.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Names are important. Your name's Spring. I'm sorry. I just got so excited. I don't see many cat people.
And she just kind of like it starts ignoring the goblins and she's like, the group you say, which she sees. Well, yeah, Ezra would be with you, so she sees the two of you.
I mean, there's more of us, and I thought that it would also work out really well because she owns a bug cat. As I pointed at
Bug
Azri.
cat?
Yeah, bug cat.
I have a Tresium.
Yeah.
Tresium.
Yes.
Ooh. You can see like excitement going in her eyes. And, can I meet this Tresium?
He is. You know, I will.
I think he's
go
looking
and-
for you right now, actually.
Oh,
She
then
kind
we.
of side eyes that, like, or he's looking for his friend.
Then we best wait for it. I'll meet the rest of the group first, okay?
Aye. Should we finish negotiations here first, though?
I don't really get it. These one of the goblins says, "It's the market. It's closed until it's finished, and then we open it again. And if you want in, you have to write somewhere. You have to claim a spot first.
Ah.
He's staring at you intently.
She smiles and says, well, what happens if somebody else is removed from their spot? Is it then open?
Listen, I explained it once more. I'm gonna probably be explaining it the whole day, so... Okay. You claim a spot,
Hold on,
you put...
hold on. What about this? I just hand over my guild letter. I'm a merchant. Isn't that good enough?
Listen. You claim a spot, you put all your stuff, including this letter, on the spot. You probably want someone protecting your spot. And you go to other people's spot and take their stuff. And by the end of the day, whatever's left in your spot is yours.
Interesting.
That's
Thank
not
you for explaining that to me.
how merchants work.
That is how our merchants work.
Well, he also didn't say that this was a merchant area. He said this is a market area. And remember, we're here to play games. This could be one of the preliminary games. Is at the end of the day, whoever stole the most stuff looks better in people's eyes. And she has a bit of a glint in her eyes thinking about Fluke. Like, oh, thank goodness. Is this the first, in her back of her head, is this the first game stealing stuff? Dear Lord, we've got, it's like Tony Stark, we've got a Fluke.
Fluke's just with porcelain wringing his hands. Why are you wringing your hands? I don't know.
I feel the
But it feels
disturbance in
appropriate.
force.
I feel like I'm going to get to
My nabby senses are tingling.
My nabby senses are teeth.
Oh, it's like
So you want a spot?
We want, do we want a spot? And she, I'm sorry, she did say her name. I missed it.
The
Tabaxi.
the Tabaxi is Spring. The goblin hasn't introduced himself.
Spring, like
Spring.
the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's, Miss Spring, were you wanting one? A spot?
Well, I was on my own before, so not really. If you think you have someone who can steal things, I can help protect these stuff.
Fantastic. I think that this is the point in time where we do as you suggested and go meet the rest of the group. And by the time we're back, hopefully Decorum and my Thresium will also be back, Lord Chonkas.
And as you return, I'd like Ezra to make a perception check.
I have a passive 19.
That's fair. You know what? Just for you, we'll go with your passive.
The groan.
As you're
Thanks, DM.
as you're finding your way back, you see like this crowd of people surrounding something, and at first you kind of ignore it, but then you see Chonker's wings kind of like floating above it. With Nietzsche, you see like one of Decorum's horns, and as you go to look at it, you see Decorum with a group of elves, and they're in some form of card game, and Decorum is very intently looking as he places his cards upon the table, and the elf starts shouting obscenities in Elven and Sylvan as Decorum just grabs a bunch of gold and looks at you.
Spring, you see that dragonborn over there, the one with the Tresium? That's my Tresium and his friend Decorum.
I trust you and his friend Decorum.
All right, listen, Decorum is my friend as well. It's just one of those, like, let's be real here. If Decorum had to choose between Asri or Lord Chonkers.
That's fair. Ezra, I just won 50 gold. Best game of poker in my life. wouldn't be poker, it would be something else, but I'm gonna go with poker right now.
Up top, she says, and she goes for the high five, which would no doubt be a down low for him.
Yeah, with a down low for him.
Well, it seems like the Decorum would say it's like, well, it wasn't called poker, but I'm just gonna call it poker. It had some
Yep.
weird Sylvan name.
I didn't even know what we were playing, and I still won.
They were busy with each other so much, they completely ignored me. But with that, all of you reconvene.
Everyone, we found a nice woman named Spring who wants to help make sure we don't necessarily die in this, so long as we make sure she doesn't die. I'm assuming that's basically the contract in a nutshell. Mutual, not death.
What are y'all
Sam,
gonna wish for?
good at preventing death.
I told you what my
overall.
wish was. I want to make sure I'm not working with anybody evil.
Certainly not. We haven't exactly hashed out precisely what we're wishing for, but the general gist is improvement for a lot of people's lives.
Yes, same.
For like the nobility, or
Oh, heavens no.
oh, we're gonna get along just fine.
At the worst nobility, you kind of like see Spring's face kind of sour for a bit and then like return to normal rather quickly.
Is it just so I as a player can understand that, is that meaning like the mention of nobility made her think like she doesn't like nobles, or that we don't like nobles make her uncomfortable?
The word noble seems to already make her uncomfortable.
Ah, okay.
That's what I was getting from that.
Just gotta make sure, G. Just gotta make sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Death to our enemies, then.
Well,
If he says that, and Azri will just kind of smile like, we are the certain kind of person. And she'll pull out her Tears of her Enemy flask and take a sip.
Spring, was it?
Yes.
Porcelain, I say, and I put my hand out.
She'll shake it.
Like a Polaroid picture.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Blinking. Did I introduce myself? My apologies. My name's Azri T. Telrax.
I don't think you did now that you mention it. I think, and pleasure to meet you as well. That's right.
Fluke will just kind of slink on in, just like, you can just call me Fluke. Just hold the hand up.
All right,
Claw.
just look.
Fluke Fearfighter is his name.
Is it?
Wait, what?
What? Azri will look at Fluke as he says what, and he's like, what?
Did you say fear fighter?
I did. It was partially a joke, but I wanted to see how you feel about it, because it's double alliteration, and honestly, you fight fear pretty well. I don't know. It was a thought.
He'll tap his chin
Ignore
a little bit
me.
about that, just like, I'll think about that. I mean, I did technically get knighted, but I really don't care for anyone here to call me Sir Fluke. That crap doesn't matter a lick here. I'll get called Sir Fluke if an archfey absolutely falls in love with me or something.
You can still call me Dame Teak.
You're a knight?
I will.
Yes, he is.
What kind of knight are you?
That's just a little place called the Sleeping Watch.
I, of course, know what that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Been there.
you probably would know.
Yeah.
Do you know about a place called Lavosti by any chance?
Yeah, that's where I sell all my stuff.
Oh! Small world!
You've not
Guess
heard
where
of this
we're
place?
from.
Sorry,
What was the
what did
question?
Spring say?
That she hasn't heard of that place.
Oh,
Well, right now it's a hellhole that's the middle of a war.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Spring, are you a native here to the Feywilds?
No, I am from the material plane as well.
Oh, which part?
The eastern parts. I am a... do you call it runaway from Tsun?
where? No.
I'll quickly grab another map.
It's like, oh, she might be from a different continent. That is fascinating.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
was
like
gonna
we're about to
say.
see one of the. I feel like we're gonna see like a map from one of the previous games we've played in Slumperd.
Yeah,
Tunnel.
it is next to one of the. It's quite close to the Saltmarsh campaign.
Okay, then I'm gonna pull out my map since we're comparing maps, and pull out the map of Lavasti.
Azri's not pulling out her map because hers is a war map. And Teak will
This one
feed Mr.
complains.
Box
Okay,
a
this could keep complaining.
caltrop.
So I'm gonna instead open it in Roll20, hopefully.
I'm just gonna point at all the places that are on fire now.
All of it.
Didn't I heard a rumor out there that there were some places that were deciding that they were their own place? Do you know anything about that?
Should I make a history check?
Yeah.
That's it.
I was in the middle of traveling when it all happened.
I think you heard about like the first attacks, and you figured like, hey, that sounds like my cue to go to the Feywilds.
Stuff's on fire. Whoa, time to go.
Bye.
Good luck with that, everybody.
Have fun.
I don't want to be a merchant on the road. People might attack me for my goods.
Yeah.
Or
I can't
services.
fight
Wait.
entire armies. I can fight bandits and trolls and lots of other things, but armies?
And
What if you are the army? Can you fight it then?
this map?
Why would I
Oh my
fight
God.
myself? Myself fights me all the time as it is.
The Saltmarsh campaign like took place in this area on this island and the seas, and soon is here.
Oh, okay.
Man, they are a. And I just want to make sure none of us have heard of any of these places before, right?
Oh. Haven't heard of them.
You might have probably like the names of like countries and stuff like that might ring a bell. I'd say if you're proficient in history, you definitely do know the names of different countries.
Sweet, I know.
But like specific names of like cities and stuff, you probably don't. The Draconic Peaks are fairly famous, so I think definitely Porcelain would know about them, as they are they at least used to be 5 independent city-states within a larger empire. And I'd say since we have established, anyone with proficiency in history can make a history check
Teak,
on soon.
Gogo, or Tico? Ha!
Teak hasn't been paying much attention to the other continents. Porcelain, now that you're thinking about it a little bit and seeing a map of it, you suddenly recognize Toon as the place where supposedly everybody is either nobility or a slave. Those are like, there's no middle ground between those.
Well, that explains that face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I was literally about to be like, yes, I've heard of this place. Lovely to be in. Like, as soon as like I looked out of the map and see where it is, like, you're not gonna say shit.
I know what she's wishing for.
Right?
Freedom.
Well, happy to have you here, Spring.
They're happy to be in a group finally. I've been getting a little bit desperate, but the fake creatures are not very good with confusion about timing, and they're just asking you to wait and wait, as it were. They have no consideration for deadlines.
No consideration for what?
Deadline.
Deadlines.
Deadlines. Well, as I understand it, time works fairly differently here.
Wait, it does?
Yes.
She springwalls or not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the worst won't happen.
Well, and so long as the two of you feel this is also a good idea, we had the idea that we could save an item or two from our endeavors to offer to whoever will be bringing us back so we can negotiate our arrival back into the material plane.
Oh, that wasn't what I was worried about.
And
What are you worried about?
I'm sure it will be fine.
Insight.
oh,
Actually, she likes to just first do the Integra bullshit, and then insight.
could you care to elaborate in case it's relevant later? Nice.
You have a fuck stand to your persuasion. That actually am scurry.
Well, you believe that he believes that you believe that I believe that it'll be fine.
Yeah, and you know what? That's as we will just kind of like look at you and be like, if you're wrong, I will at the very least have to say neener, unless it's something serious. And if you're wrong and it's the worst case and it involves all of us, I may just flick you in the ear.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that. It won't like it if it gets flicked.
Your ear won't like being flicked. She kind of looks at you like, you're an interesting person and I like that.
Don't
Everybody,
worry, if we get our wish, you'll be able to see what it is.
Good Sir Fluke, would you like to hear something, an interesting thing about the market here?
You just raise an eyebrow. Sure.
It's
It's the
absolutely
best-
terrible.
It's the best market ever.
It's the
So
worst.
long as someone's guarding your stuff, people can't take from it. As long as you catch them and stuff, blah blah blah. But at the flip side, you can also just steal from other people's groups. So long as they don't catch you. And that's the way the market works.
That's not how markets work.
That's the way the market here worked, according to
I'm
that goblin
immediately
man.
going to look over the wagon and see if anybody's been trifling around.
Look, we've had our stuff on us, but
He's gonna purse his lips a little bit. What happens if they do catch you, just so I know?
she looks up to Spring.
They die.
From what I understand, it's an elaborate game of hide and seek. If you are not spotted, you can take whatever you want, but if you are spotted, you have to return everything you took from the pile. It is an odd concept. You just pile up all your stuff and guard it.
No.
So, let me get this straight. Basically, you take all you want, and the only downside is if you get caught, you just have to say you're sorry and put it back.
I don't even think you have to say you're sorry. You just say, "Oh, you got me," and you put it back. The
Yes.
big downside is we have to put a pile of our own out for people to be able to nab from.
It is that is one of my confusions. It seems easy to store your stuff somewhere else and then pretend you don't have a pile, but I think they have a look at how expensive a thing you bring and they put you in a pile with similar expenses. So if you bring nothing, you're gonna find a whole bunch of nothing as well.
Equal
Dang.
exchange.
I'm just gonna walk over to Ojot, start petting him, and laughing maniacally.
Fluke's just like fiddling his claws, looking down at his swords, mildly concerned, but pondering, just like, Ezra, you have very good eyes. And you can punch things really well. You could guard the things, and if I could get a distraction...
When you say distraction, Chonker's actually no, he's still with Decorum because Decorum's not with us, is he?
No, I thought
No,
he
the
joined-
Cormac came with you.
Yeah, he
Okay,
joined
just
back
making
up.
sure. Then Chonkers will land on you.
He knows when to pull out of the gambling. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, he's giant glowing wings. You need a distraction? Mo.
Come to think of it, I guess I technically have to leave my swords behind. I could always cast haste on myself beforehand. That could be a fun little grab bag real quick.
So we have to put some expensive things in, but nothing will be too sorry to lose.
I'm not sure if the Corm at this point would just dramatically like offer up all of his stuff because he's useless now.
He did already tell me how to divvy it up. I was just about to ask you because Asri was gonna ask. I was typing it out, but I'll just say it out loud. Asri's gonna ask in Decorum's head to borrow his boots of haste.
I think
That
like
makes sense.
hearing that, I think he's gonna make an entire like big thing about how he will offer everything, but please let him keep his let him have his boots. You can have the armor, you can have the axe, but the boots, please let me have them.
He said, "God damn it."
Is he messaging you in chat?
No, Cherry messaged me earlier in chat in regards to something else after he watched something in stream. And so he just basically told me that the boots go to Asri, the armor goes to Porcelain, and the great axe goes to Fluke. And that he wants to keep the
thought he
Sinning
was
Stone.
dead.
Oh, is that
Of
because he
course
thought
he-
he was dead? Is that why he was okay.
I think so, because it did look for a time that he was dead.
No, it said he wanted to keep his sending stones.
Yeah, it did say he wanted to keep his Sinning Stones, but the
Of
thing
course
that...
he would give the great axe to Fluke. I mean,
here's what I'm gonna send you. This is the original reason he wanted to give me the boots, and I just sent it to you, Slumperd.
Okay. Okay, that's fair. But he still wouldn't want to risk them in the game.
Fair.
You're right. No. She doesn't want to she wants to borrow them on her feet to punch people more.
Okay, then he'll do that.
No, yeah, no. I'm not. I don't want people to give people a chance to take the boots. I want to use the boots to punch people.
Am I able to wear his armor? Do I have proficiency in heavy armor?
You're a fighter, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do, but you don't have the strength because you
Yeah,
tried it
we
before with
talked
plate
about
armor.
Right, that's what it was. I was like, there's some reason why I couldn't have full armor.
Wait.
Strength
Oh.
15. Strength with
Yeah.
15's requirement.
Yeah.
Your speed would be halved, and I think something else as well.
I need to wait for my
I think you
next-
lose proficiency with attacks.
No, yeah, I think that sounds. And you can't cast spells.
You need to do some pull-ups.
Well, maybe you'll be lucky and find like some strength gauntlets or something here.
Yeah.
Dex fighters are Dex fighters until they get the belt of Hill Giant strength, and suddenly they're like,
That was.
I will now smash.
I am now everything fighter.
I'm willing to pitch in, let's see. Fire resistant potion. And one greater healing potion. That's all I have really of value.
Out of things to risk, maybe the amulet of non-detection. Not that I want to lose that, but one of the few things I feel like I.
Big guns. I was gonna say we have 4 potions of seeing visibility that we literally have no use for right now.
That's true. Well, I'm just saying I don't want to risk up my swords. That's the main thing.
Yes. Let's see. I have the 4 potions of see invisibility. I have the 1 potion of fire breathing. I'm not giving up my spools of black silk. That is absolutely no. She'll put in, since we already have a set of it, she'll put in her disguise kit in there, since you guys have one already, each, I think.
Hi, Dogo.
See, I know you said
Oh, you're
doggo,
my
but I
dog,
heard
sure.
Ralgo.
Same.
I mean, I could add one of my +1 daggers to the pile, and I mean, I'd be willing just to throw all my platinum on there. I mean, if we want.
I think it has to be more items than that, if that makes sense.
Maybe if you bundle it up nicely, though. It does seem unsportsmanlike to scatter it, as it were.
Yeah, put it in a nice coin purse or something.
Okay,
Something
so
like that.
what did Porcelain give, if I may ask? Sorry.
I offered up a fire resistance potion and a greater healing potion.
Potions. All right, I'm just gonna make a quick thing. So potions, we've got fire resist. Is healing, and then what was the other one I had?
What?
Fire breathing.
I mean, as far as I think, did Tika Decorum have it? What about the mace? The mace would probably be a good
Ooh,
thing.
Decorum has that, but I don't know if he'd be willing to give up the flaming mace.
Probably not. It's thematic.
The exploding mace.
Yeah.
I don't think he would.
Right. Yeah, I think he was looking.
Oh,
to...
he does also have a potion of fire resistance, which he definitely could give. He has the scary helmet that just like has its eyes glow up if you use it, if you wear it.
Assuming he's willing to give the fire breathing, I'm gonna put 2 for that one. I'm gonna hit send real quick.
And he technically, I'm not sure he would want to give it away, but he has the Mask of Kratz.
Let's go with if assuming everyone's okay with that, and I'm asking DM more than anybody. The scary helmet, the first one you mentioned, that makes the eyes glow.
Yeah. Oh, and he also has a potion of fire breathing.
He wouldn't want to get rid of that. Let's be
Yeah, that one was really
That's
important
fair.
to it. The fact that I'm putting
I mean,
mine
I only
up
thought
may
it-
just upset him.
I only thought of the exploding mace because that's a weapon no one's literally ever used so far.
So exploding mace. So that's our pile.
Let me see. Let's see. So I'm willing to toss in one of my spare dagger. So +1 dagger can bundle up some platinum nicely. 35 platinum.
Ooh,
Got
that's a
it,
lot.
Yeah, I have a decent bit of money. I haven't spent it on a lot of things. I literally have an IOU.
Do you still have that? I thought that she gave you the necklace, and that was.
We need to find
yeah,
out what the necklace
we
is
haven't-
first.
Yeah, we haven't discussed if that's going to take care of it, if it's going to take a big chunk of it, or if I owe her, I might owe her money for
Just
all we know.
Put the IOU in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a legally binding IOU. We have every intention of paying it back. So, by the laws of the Fae.
Next
I
episode
think-
title: The party loses all of their gear.
the party loses everything. Alrighty. I'm gonna ask since I'm looking at. Go ahead.
Do you want me? I have one greater healing potion. Do we want to maybe hold on to a little bit of that, or?
Yeah, maybe hold on to yours. We're putting 1 in there.
Okay. So
will
I
say-
will.
Decorum also still has potions which he probably will keep on to, but give them to you when for the actual competitions.
Cool.
So did you write a bag of 35 platinum on there?
Not yet. I didn't know if you, because I've got your dagger. It was a +1 dagger. I've got the not exclamation, but it said 35 platinum.
Yep, bag a nice coin purse of 35 platinum.
What else?
It's pretty much all my money, but hey, it's better than risking my swords or probably the amulet of non-detections, considering, culty.
Yeah.
Let me quickly calculate.
Alrighty. And while they're getting that into a pile, Azri's going to take the 10 minutes to cast alarm around that pile.
But you're not in the market yet.
Well, are we already in the area we need to be?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
it's-
you're not yet.
Yeah,
You
market's
haven't
tomorrow.
even written in yet, as it were.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like when we actually okay, my apologies. I misunderstood that was an area of effect thing. Or a place. Not everywhere it can be the market so long as you make a pile.
No, you actually have to, like, how do you say it? Write in, as it were.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So you have to say like, oh, I'm gonna be at that time. I'm gonna be there, or I'm gonna be there for the next one. They wouldn't have a specific time, as it were.
and I'm assuming it's going to be in that quartered off area that all the goblins
Yeah.
were trying to make a space for it.
Yeah.
How dare you use logic against me?
Why are +1 weapons so expensive?
Because they're magical weapons that
cool.
actually harm creatures with
Yeah,
damage
that's
resistance, so it's a big deal to have a magical weapon.
That's why
Yeah.
I would have given them both, but I'm like, well, I'm pretty good at dual wielding, and I'm still lending out one of my swords, so.
Honestly, like the only thing Azri probably could have given up is the Cloak of Arachnidia, but right now that's one of the things that she thinks is going to probably be coming most handy in this fucking. All right, the ground is rough terrain. I run along the wall. All right, dexterity saves for the wall traps. Well, at least I'm proficient in that.
Yeah, it's fun. I find it funny. Everyone was like digging through all their magical stuff, and I'm like, I'm holding on to the the detection, and the swords, but I'm like, oh well, what are my spare daggers? And it's like, and that brings you up a whole price range. You've gone from middle class to upper middle class in the ring.
It really does like that's the question though, like because it could be the second thing or like the scary helmet, the exploding. I don't know about the scary helmet, the exploding mace, which is a plus weapon, your +1 dagger. And then I almost feel like the greater healing potion are like all like the three of those are a price range of themselves, and all the other stuff is just the cherries on top.
I will
Well,
say
35 plat.
you are fairly close to. So you're right now. You're from like the 4 ranges. You are in the second lowest. Like you're like 1's the lowest, 4's the highest. You're in 2. And you're 400 gold away from 3.
If only we had more platinum. 400
He has
gold
like
away from
100 platinum she could throw down. That'd be
That would
1,000 gold, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So yeah.
If it'll help Boone that, I can send down that 100 platinum, and then
Well, they
Well, let's
I
not
mean,
go
wouldn't it make-
overboard. We don't want to lose
mean-
anything we're not willing to lose.
Okay, you're right. She
I mean,
probably
yeah,
he
Fluke,
did 300,
Fluke gave
330.
away all his money, but he does still have all that IOU. Maybe it'd make more sense for Teak to maybe give half her money. That would be enough.
Well, if
anyway.
it's here's the question. I'm gonna ask this from the DM. Are we under the impression that there's a huge gap between that 300 and then the next tier, or are we aware of the tier ranges by any chance?
I'd say it, assuming like you spent a little bit of time figuring out how all of it works, because I've been like now like chiming in as Spring, but she wouldn't all know everything. But like you have enough time to figure out exactly how everything works. So there's 4 ranges. First one is everything between 0 and 1,000. No, and 100. No, that would be and 1,000 gold. There's technically 5 ranges. One for the 0 to 10 gold, as it were, for the people who are trying to cheat. But then 10 to 1,000 is like the first real range. Then 1,000 to 5,000 is the second. 5,000 to 10,000 is the third, and everything up is the last range. And without Teak doing anything, you're on 4,600.
Well, she's gonna go ahead and put 30 platinum down because I already subtracted it to and wrap it in its own bag to keep it separate from Fluke's.
just in case no one steals any of it. we can know which one's which.
How much platinum?
30, because that's 300 gold to get us to the next range, right?
You
That's
need
40.
400.
Yeah, 400.
400 gold, so that'd be 40 platinum. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me strike that down to an 80 in her inventory. Thank you. I misheard. Or maybe I just didn't, and my brain just dumb. Don't know.
So you have 8 items. Oh yeah, and that's also a thing you would learn while figuring it out is you do also get some time and like some dud items, as it were, to kind of hide within your space. So you, to make it actually difficult to find things. So you have 8 items to hide, and you also get 5 duds to hide. So you'll next. I am gonna end session here, but next session you'll have a total of 13 items to hide.
Alrighty. Since we're ending session, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. I want to say goodbye, everybody. I'm glad that we got to see Ralgo's new character.
Yay!
Short Goliath, obviously a warlock.